step up in this game like I'm hammering nails. Earth's a flat plane, listen up, I'll tell you tales. Home Depot vibes on my tools, no fails. Level up my vision while the world just derails. Sharon said it first, now I'm chasing the truth. First wanna know, is he shilling or aloof? Now I'm flexing with the facts while they playing the fool. Flat earth, no curve, I'm breaking all the rules.
Release the tapes.
Earth is like Home Depot, got my crew on deck. Home Depot, we ballin'. All this knowledge better show respect. Home Depot, flat earth, they saying no way, but we out here grind. Home Depot, motivated, determined, leave the lies behind. Rolling deep through Antarctica, you know what's up. Snowflakes in the air, yeah, we sipping from the cup. Well, Duffy said, trust me, I came out of the blue. Started from the hustle, now I'm building my crew. Wait, I'm stacking up truth like I'm lumber from the store. Got the blueprint, baby, I'm ready for war. See the horizon straight, no dip in my sight. Thug life on the flat, bringing knowledge to the fight. If this like Home Depot, got my crew on deck. Home Depot, we ballin'. All this knowledge better show respect. Home Depot, flat earth, they saying no way, but we out here grind. Home Depot, motivated, determined, leave the lies behind. So I'm here to break walls, I'm kicking down doors, hash street life, I'm hustling what's mine is ours. A whole new vision, we gon' stack and we gon' rise. With my crew by my side, we defy all the lies.
Earth is like... Thought I forgot, didn't you?
Earth is like Home Depot, got my crew on deck. Home Depot, we ballin'. All this knowledge better show respect. Home Depot, flat earth, they saying no way, but we out here grind. Home Depot, motivated, determined, leave the lies behind. So remember this hustle, keep your eyes on the prize. Earth is flat like a board, like the ones on a 5. We'll build this place together, ain't no mountain too high. Home Depot mindset, we gon' reach for the sky, yeah. So remember this hustle, keep your eyes on the prize. Earth is flat like a board, like the ones on our 5. We'll build this place together, ain't no mountain too high. Home Depot mindset, we gon' reach for the sky, yeah.
According to the general theory of relativity, gravity is not a force. There are no gravitational fields. Gravity is kind of an illusion.
What the hell did you just say?
Gravity is kind of an illusion.
Oh, yeah!
In general relativity, there is no mystery. All objects appear to fall the same way because, well, they're not accelerating.
Oh, son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Gravity is just like that force. It doesn't actually exist.
Say what?
But in general relativity, there is no gravitational force. There is no gravitational field. Gravitational fields do not exist.
Prepare yourself.
Ball-tards.
In standard Newtonian physics, we draw your weight force, the force of gravity pushing you down, and the normal force from the floor pushing you up. We say these forces are equal and opposite, so there's no net force on you, so you are not accelerating. But in general relativity, gravity is not a force. You have no weight, so the only force on you are these normal forces pushing you up. Gravity is not a force. There are no gravitational fields. You have no weight.
Well, they're not accelerating.
Gravity is kind of an illusion. Gravity is just like that force. It doesn't actually exist.
Hello, baby.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. The bird. The bird's a winner.
And we're off. As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Let's throw it on over to Discord because there are definitely some authors over there. Where are they?
There's a couple.
Evening.
Evening.
Okay.
Welcome.
Good to be back.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Yeah, nice. Sorry about last week. England was playing in country first. So,
Country.
it's tomorrow now.
Country first.
That was, you know.
So where is that lining up? I'm sorry, I don't follow it because I think it's kind of feeble sport at this point. So where's everything lining up? First, second, third, fourth, fifth? Are they in that range yet or no?
Yeah, well, we're in the knockout stage now. So all the teams have done the group stage and we've started the knockout stage. So you'll play this week. We play tomorrow. Canada blagged it through nicely. It's getting good, mate. I'm surprised. Like, it's happening there in your country.
I know.
I'm surprised you're not getting involved.
Not only in my country, about 2 hours away from where I'm at right now.
You know what I mean? Get down there. Get in a fan park, experience it.
It's up there in Kansas City. We got to go up.
Up then. Head north.
Yeah. Isn't that up?
That is up. It's up on the map, and it's up that way on the map. But colloquially, we're talking, obviously not. Anyway.
All right, fair enough.
Well, I'm enjoying it, and I've been a bit absent, obviously. I am still enjoying the World Cup. It's going to get better. Hopefully England stay in. Hopefully you guys stay in as well.
How long is the knockout stage?
Next 2 and a bit weeks, I think, really. So got a while yet. But it'll slow down because there's not games every day. But obviously, as you get less and less teams, you've got to have rest days. So it'll trim down over the next bit.
How long's a typical game?
This is the weird thing because it's become very Americanized. So we have 2 halves, right? And you play for 45 minutes, solid, plus a bit of injury, so up to sort of around about 50 minutes. But now, because it's in America, they've bullshitted the way with this hydration break. I mean, half of it's in air-conditioned stadium. Yeah. So we've basically got 4 quarters like American football now. So halfway, yeah.
So you're on to it because I'm going to tell you right now, I step outside, it's like stepping into a friggin' blast furnace. Tell you that much.
It's 21 degrees in the stadiums, right? And frankly, I don't care, right? I want them to play football for a half of football, not stop halfway through because it's a bit hot. It's always been a bit hot. Footballers have always played through. We don't need this nonsense. Right. So this wokery, what about their rights? What about their hydration rights? You know, you don't need it. Get on, play football, have a cup of tea at half time.
I'll tell you what, you have somebody out there get heat stroke, that'll turn the tide, I'm going to tell you.
Well, that's the risk you play, isn't it? You paid millions of pounds. I don't want to hear that you need to stop halfway through.
Okay, fair enough.
But anyway, the point is, it's for advertising, basically, because you guys are going, you're cutting to commercials during this thing.
Sure.
So, and the fans are not happy because it's not, like I say, got 4 quarters, mate. It's just, It's like gridiron.
I'm thinking back and to the places I was when I was a younger man in the infantry, and I'd like to call a break because I was getting too hot. That is so silly. I never do that. Never happened. We never stopped because of any weather or anything ever. It wasn't even a question. It wasn't like maybe we'll stop. Maybe they'll figure out that it's getting too hot. No, never happened.
Well, we can go to commercial break. There's your break.
Yeah. I wasn't getting paid millions of pounds. I'm gonna tell you that much right now. So, bastards.
Did it for the love, but the fans are booing. So if you hear the booing at the quarter mark, it's because nobody's really happy about it.
They're trying to,
because of commercials.
They're trying to change it because it's 4. You're saying now it's 4 quarters. You're getting really close to NFL football.
Yeah, they'll be picking it up and not kicking it soon, won't they? Not using their feet.
Throwing it at each other.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I know you enjoy the sport. It's part of your more or less your national identity. Yeah.
It is. On that, we've sold a player. One of our players went most expensive Englishman, £115 million.
Well, he was sold. What do they bring back? Slavery
this week. No, that's how you guys trade players, don't you? Not so much. You have drafts, don't you? But we trade players all the time. Yeah.
No. There's trades, but it's regulated, highly regulated. Yeah, there's only a certain time period that you can make trades, and once that time period ends, that's it. But then there's a lot of ifs, ands, and what have yous with trades. But yeah, they trade. Yep. Where'd the Englishman get traded to, or did you acquire him?
We bought him for 30 million from Newcastle, and now he's gone to Manchester City. And they're owned by one of the Arab nations. Who was it? Etihad, all that lot group. They own them, so they're like potted. They can buy anyone.
So this is behind the scenes. This is more of the local game. This is not part because England.
Yeah, you can't trade English. No. So international, you can't because you just have to have been from that country, don't you?
Right. Yep. I got you.
So,
this is more of the local scheme, correct?
Yeah. So the guy that's playing there, he's one of our best players. We've now not. He's not one of ours. He's off.
So how many teams? I got another question. So before you answer that one, so if you have so many teams in England, do they take the best of each team and make an English or British all-star team, and that team plays in the World Cup? Is that how it works?
So all the English players get picked to play for England. You got the pick of all. Same for Scotland, Wales, Ireland. So all the Irish players, they'll be playing in the English league. Pretty much most of them, except Parrott, who plays like in Greece or somewhere. But they'll all play around Europe, and then for international games, like the Irish FA, will pick all the Irish players and make a team from them. So it's a bit like your All-Stars, isn't it? But
yes.
It's the same for the Americans.
Yes.
The same for the Americans. You've got all the guys in your major league and a couple of the guys that are playing in Europe.
Yep.
And as long as they're American, they're eligible to play.
Gotcha. Yep, makes sense.
Manager's a bit different. You can have a different manager. You've got an Argentinian.
Oh, yeah. That managers. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I think the manager should be the same nation as well. It should be we've got a German, mate. I mean, weird.
Why did you put in a protest?
Lots of people were not happy. It's like the biggest rivalry is England-Germany. So to have a German, but
yeah, I'm seeing.
But you want that German efficiency, you see. Hopefully it'll come good.
Jeez. Okay, so I appreciate. Go ahead.
And I was going to say, I'll finish the sports roundup from this week, but I'll just point out that football is played on a flat pitch.
Sure.
Are you sure that you're not too upset about the commercials? Because don't you want to know about Sky Rizzy or some pharmaceutical commercial over here?
I mean, halfway through a game of football, it's good to know that if you are suffering from ED, there is a solution.
So what you're trying to say is they don't have that over in England? They don't have, like, timeouts and commercial breaks?
Not during the game, no. Sacrosanct. Yeah?
Okay.
Because
Yeah, they also don't have.
football.
Sorry, they also don't have pharmaceutical commercials over there either. Only America does.
Right. Go ahead.
It's just started. No, you see, yes and no. There is a bit. It started to creep in. So we stuff that's like pharmacy stuff. That will be advertised that you can go and buy. So things like Gaviscon, Pepto-Bismol, stuff like that. But what you're not allowed to do is have what you guys have, which is prescription only. So stuff that requires a doctor to think you need it. You're not allowed to advertise stuff like that, whereas you guys will. So things like Ozempic, you couldn't have that on. It needs a prescription.
Oh my goodness. I didn't realize that they didn't do that over. Now, I'm not talking about the pharmaceuticals. I'm just talking about commercial breaks because it's sacrosanct. I could just imagine. I would love it if they did that here. The NFL games, I would absolutely. Now, what I do is I turn off. I don't go to any media outlets, and I record the games, and then I'll go back later in the evening while the late games are playing and watch the early games, and I'll fast forward through the commercials. That's what I'm reduced to for the past 8 years or so. So that's what I do. Yeah. That's how I get around that because I can't stand it. But you take a 45-minute game and turn it into 3 hours with all the commercials. I can't stand it. So that's how I react. Go ahead.
No, I say we just play. That's it. Yeah, I don't think I could. But it's a different game, mate. So I can understand why. But I do think it's. Yeah, that's why we're moaning because
yes.
On the TV now, you guys are. I think in the States stuff, they're straight to commercials. The Brits don't know what to do. Even the commercial channel ITV, they don't go to adverts. They just show they talk and go, well, what's happened so far? While watch the players have a drink.
Oh, really? They don't show any commercials. The announcers just talk about, the game and then just wait until the American media gets back. Okay.
Well, the other half's on BBC and there's no commercials there, is there? So you don't have adverts on BBC.
Sure. Got it. Yep. All right. So what are we going to do today, Adam? We're going to get into... I guess that was a rhetorical question. I didn't wait for an answer. We already started. We got 7 minutes or so into the video with. Let me throw it on over there so I don't screw it up.
You managed the full 7 minutes.
We did. We did. I was gone for a big percentage of it. That's all right. There shouldn't be any delays or anything taking away my attention today, so we should be good. So we got 7 minutes into it. We're not going to get through this whole thing because, especially doing the 30-second increments. Let's see how it goes today with the 30 seconds. I have a couple things that I'm going to do to try to make it, like I said, a little bit better by marking down the times. I got papers everywhere, too. It's not ergonomic either. I know I'm complaining. It's just I'm not ergonomic with this because I have a sheet over here because I'm marking down everything they get wrong. That is Stephen Meyer, Lennox, and Tor. So I got X's, and if they combine it with a logical fallacy, it's a circle X. So I got to mark them down and then keep my eye on time. I need a friggin' secretary or something. You know what I mean? but I got control issues. So I'm caught.
Yeah, no one in their right mind would sign up to be your secretary.
The control issue factor, Adam, it has a definite impact on the situation.
Well, my granddad always said, jobs, job worth do it yourself if you want it doing right.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. I kind of agree with that. Okay. Let me
before you go on.
Okay.
Before you go on. So these I've got a list of where they're making mistakes. So you know I like these guys, and I
do too.
I'm not going to be So is it when we say mistakes? Is it all mistakes, or is it where they're not going as far as you'd want them to?
No, I'm just
giving the implications.
No, just mistakes, just errors that they make.
Great disagreement. Okay, cool.
Not disagreements, just absolute errors that I don't just say, oh, mistake. No, I explain what it is. Describe, explain what it is, and that. I don't mark down phantom X's for placation or something they didn't say.
So just errors. That's okay. I'm just seeking clarity on what we're... That's good, because this is where I'll learn, because I'm not going to pick those up. I might pick one or two, but
yeah, you are. Oh yes, you are. It was bad. It was bad last week. I think they're into the Big Bang now. So, I'll just let it go. I'm not gonna. We'll just roll. I'm gonna let her budge, and then, like I said, we'll do 30 seconds, or somewhere in that vicinity, to where they get to express their full thought, and then we'll circle back. So, 7:17. Are you good now? Can we move?
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm going to get a feel for the new rules. I'm not sure of them. I'm going to learn them through experience rather than instruction.
Oh, I'm going to screw it up because they'll say something. They'll say something stupid. It triggers me, and I'll stop it. And then, like Flatsy said, I had some issues with that last week. It's electroshock therapy, Adam. That's what I need. All right, so
let's give it a go then.
Let me orient you again. Stephen Meyer, John Lennox, James Tour. Like it says, 3 scientists on the origins of everything. This was recorded 2 months ago. And where were they at again? Salzburg? Hold on. They might not say it. I can't remember. They're up in the European highlands. It's very highbrow aristocrats, and these 3 are the leading gentlemen. These are the good guys. That's what I termed them, the good guys. Stephen Meyer, John Lennox, and James Tour. Stephen Meyer, John Lennox has been out here for years and years and years and years and years. I mean, I remember him out here when I was in Evo Tardville. So. He goes back there. James Tour, I did hear his name back in the day, and I can remember, like I said, somebody sent me a paper that he wrote. It wasn't a scientific paper. It was more like an op-ed, and after I read it, I said, this guy's a clown. Right? I can remember saying, and I never paid any attention to him whatsoever from that point forward until recently, when we did a couple treatments. And Stephen Meyer, I don't know how long he's been out here. It's probably quite some time. Fighting evolutionists mainly and battling for an intelligent designer. So they got all these 3 guys together, and they made a movie. Does anyone remember the name of the movie they said in the beginning? I'm not going back. I don't remember the name of it. Hold on a second. I thought they advertised. There it is. The Story of Everything. That's the name of the movie. I think it came out, I think Steven said, in April of this year. There's a big globe tart in the middle and right in the midst of a second law of thermodynamics violation.
Yeah, that made me so mad.
Yeah.
I was just reviewing it last night for whatever reason. So, I saw the movie has a website, so you can go on there and watch it on Amazon, or Amazon has it available.
Really?
But guess what else is available on Amazon and Kindle? Welcome to Flat Earth.
This one? You don't see it, Flatsy, but everyone else does. So
I've not seen you, have I? Since like we got our first like non-related to us lot promotion by Lee Frotch, the sunbathinator.
Frock him.
Frock him.
I was wondering who it was. I'm like, Adam, can you tell us who this is?
Yeah, so that's the guy who I met. So he's only read the first bit. He said, I like it. It's introducing everyone. And he's on holiday now, so he's took it on holiday, you see.
Ah, okay.
So hopefully he'll come back and we'll have a nice, a better review. But like 3,000, the first day I saw it, 3,600 people had seen that video.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's like crazy. Like I say, outside of our little world.
Can you explain to everyone who this person is, please?
Yeah, so the guy reason I was late the other week before was to meet him to give him and his brother a copy of the book for him to read and then hopefully just do a bit of promotion. Those guys being Lee Frotch and his brother Carl Frotch, both boxers, Carl being an ex-world champion. So top lads, and still do loads of social media and stuff and live down the road. So
yeah, his brother Carl was some sort of a big guy, like a big boxer. I'm not saying big in size. I'm just saying like primetime boxer.
Oh yeah, proper.
Yep. I recognized his name. I should have recognized it when maybe I need to hear it because you wrote Froch and I'm like, who the hell is that?
Yeah. Frotch. Carl the Cobra Frotch. Yeah. So
does he have a snake on his arm?
Cobra.
A cobra.
Obviously.
Yeah. Are cobras snakes?
Yeah.
We've had this sidebar. I don't know how we got on it. It was probably Brian questioning whether what was it, Flatsy? He said a fox was part of the cat family or some shit, didn't he?
Yeah, he said a fox was a feline. Technically, actually.
So
it's not though.
So everyone hit the internet, right? We all hit the internet trying to debunk it. It took like less than 3 seconds. We said, what are you talking about, dude? But it was a lot of fun. You missed out. All right. Let's get on with this. I don't need that. We'll just keep the book on. Like I said, orient you, Salzburg, Stolzberg, whatever it is. Didn't he make a reference to some famous thing that happened there or somebody that was born there?
Yeah, Salzburg. Isn't that Mozart?
Mozart. Yeah, that's right. That's correct, Adam. You got it. Yeah, Salzburg. So that is where the venue is. I even at the beginning, I know this is off topic, but it's not that far off topic. I can get back to 717. So let's get back. Look at the place that they're in. Hey, why you do that? Look at this, Adam.
Yeah.
This is some proper. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. The Hoover Institution, whoever that is. Now, I think these guys are set up right here. That's my contention. This room right here. And I'm standing outside it, looking in the window. Where'd it go? Right here. See that? I'm standing outside. I think that they're over by the, see the G? The big G? Right underneath the big G, this this is my contention and mine alone, but I think that's where they're at. Let's see if it gets a little better picture. Oh.
Big.
Listen to the music too, Adam. Jeez, oh man, listen to this.
Welcome to Uncommon Knowledge.
Shut up. This is proper snobbery right here.
Just, well, I would assume it's probably a bit of Mozart. You would have hoped to be on theme, wouldn't you?
You'd figure, yeah. This is very nice. I like the chateaus. Is that what they call it? What do they call these buildings out here, Adam? They have a proper name for them?
Salzburg's in Austria, isn't it?
Yes.
So I don't know. They're kind of, that's a bit French, isn't it? A chateau. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up. What's a big house in Austria called? As opposed, I'll look it up.
It didn't need all that. Okay, let's get back to where I was. All right. I don't want you looking stuff up, Adam. Especially inconsequential things. We got some business to attend to. But I guess it's
just told me which window you think he's in.
No, they're in.
In Austria, a chateau, French for grand castle, manor house, or country estate, is typically called a schloss.
A schloss?
Yeah. Schloss. SCHLOSS.
Okay. So, there you go. Chateau sounds better.
Yeah.
Your sister.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
No,
Schloss
your sister.
Doesn't sound posh. It sounds a bit slosh, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Slosh. Exactly, Adam. I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
That's copyright.
Yeah, it is. All right, here we go. Like I said, you got the orientation. Now, they're into, like I said, they were talking, I think they're talking now about the Big Bang, if I'm not mistaken. So, here we go. 30 seconds.
Was being stretched, which suggested that the universe was actually expanding.
Wait. Brian's arrived. Evening, Brian.
Cheers.
Hello, Brian.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Adam. Didn't see you for a while. Hey, Flatsy, Huey.
I gotta turn you up. I can't hear a word from you.
Sounds like you got a cold.
No, I just woke up. That's what it was.
Get the potato out of your mouth, buddy.
Yeah.
It's not a potato, it's true. Yeah. Right. I'll be back to you in a while.
Thanks for the interruption. Here we go.
Where redshifted, the light coming was being stretched, which suggested that the universe was actually expanding outward as if from a beginning point. And this was the great discovery that led to people thinking about, well, what would happen if you ran that sequence in reverse? If you back extrapolate, if you think about, well, what would if the universe is expanding outward in the forward direction of time, what would have been like 1,000 years ago, or 1,000,000 years ago, or 1,000,000,000 years ago? However far back you go, you will eventually reach a point where all of that galactic material would have converged in the reverse direction of time to one point, which would mark this, the start of the expansion, but arguably the beginning of the universe itself. So,
all right, 7:57.
Oh boy, there was a lot said there.
Yeah, there was. So we're gonna go back to 7:17. A lot of J's in here, Adam. Oh, I missed it. It's close enough. Yep, there it is. All right, here we go.
Universe was actually expanding outward as if from a beginning point, and this was the great discovery that led to.
How did who discovered that? Who was back there? Was it Doc Brown? Did Doc Brown MC? So it was.
Yeah, where can I go and observe this also?
Yeah, I'd like to. Nice story.
To people thinking about, well, what would happen if you ran that sequence in reverse?
The sequence you just made up. If you ran it backwards, I'm sure you're going to come up with a factual conclusion from that.
If you back extrapolate, if you think about, well, what would if the universe is expanding outward in the forward direction of time, what would have been like 1,000 years ago, or 1,000,000 years ago, or 1,000,000,000 years ago?
I'm going to go with smaller.
Yeah,
if you back extrapolate it.
He's just coming out with all kind of ages and stuff. I wonder if can those ages be scientifically validated, Stephen? Now, I'm not marking anything wrong, Don. He's just giving a rendition of the story. So,
Is this some sort of like a conflation of how entropy only increases? And they're making it seem like it's a single point expanding out from like an actual location, expanding out and out and out and out. I mean, is that what they're doing?
who's there?
These guys, Stephen Meyer, I guess.
They're giving you the story. Now, I'm listening closely, and some of it is not the actual Big Bang fairy tale. So I got a weathered eye raise at this point. Maybe he'll recover. Here we go.
However far back you go, you will eventually reach a point where all of that galactic material would have converged in the reverse direction of time to one.
You're on mute.
Reverse direction of time. What the hell is that?
I don't know. And how? What is this galactic material? Can I have some in a jar?
Paint it red? I guess that doesn't work. That doesn't work with that. But okay. Okay, you've extrapolated back in time, and what you come up with?
Point, which would mark this.
You came to a point. Huh? Okay, I'll let you go.
Start of the expansion, but arguably the beginning of the universe itself.
So the point was the beginning of the universe. Okay. Any comments up to this point? Because we're going to go do another 30.
They hijack entropy because they have to. That's why they can never not have an expanding universe. Because within their paradigm, entropy has to be always increasing. So that means that they have to have an expanding universe because they can't deny entropy. Yet they do deny entropy.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that. So, sometimes they don't pay any attention to it at all.
Yeah, it's funny.
So you guys are saying that it is like a conflation of entropy always increasing, this idea that the universe starts at a single point and expands out?
Yeah, conflation's nice to make because it's got subtle to do with it. I mean, an expanding universe isn't the cause of entropy, is it? But if we conflate the two, yeah, then he might sound intelligent. That's what it sounds like to me, Flat. So that's the right word to me, conflate, yeah.
Here we go.
So a young student at Cambridge, the physicist Stephen Hawking, in 1966 presented a mathematical demonstration of the singularity. I'm reading these words, but I don't understand them, John, which is where you're going to come in here. The singularity, the moment when all matter and light were infinitely tight. So as I understand it, the singularity exists somehow, I don't even know how to describe it, but it exists outside time and space because time and space haven't come into a being yet. So explain what this means, this singularity.
They're very difficult concepts, but what Hawking did was to confirm what Lemaitre predicted and what the redshift showed and the Hubble telescope and all the rest of it, and gave a stronger, more mathematical confirmation of it. And in more recent times, there are three brilliant mathematicians, Vilenkin, Borde, and Alan Guth, and they worked out mathematically that you just cannot have an infinite sequence going backwards in time. It's reminiscent of the old Kalam philosophical argument that you can't.
I let it go for a little bit longer because the interviewer was taking a long time to come up with the question. Head back here a little bit. Boy, there's a dapper Stephen Hawking right there, eh?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
But arguably the beginning of the universe itself.
So, a young student at Cambridge, the physicist Stephen Hawking,
is not a physicist, by the way. Their friend, you should have been corrected.
in 1966 presented a mathematical demonstration of the singularity.
A mathematical demonstration? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, there'll be a sheet of paper with like formulas on it and a derivation.
Yeah.
It'll be. And it'll work because his peers will check and go, oh, yeah, that's right. Look, all the numbers work in your maths. You've not made one mistake in your formulas. Well done.
I'm reading these words, but I don't understand them, John, which is where you're going to come in here. The singularity, the moment when all matter and light were infinitely tight. So, as I understand it, the singularity.
All matter and light were infinitely tight?
Yeah. Like brothers, like they were so tight with each other. Is that physics?
The womb.
Yeah.
That is a bit strange. Now, I'm going to go light on him because he's a numpty, right? But that was a very strange thing to say. Well, I'll let him go.
Exists somehow, I don't even know how to describe it, but it exists outside time and space because time and space haven't come into a being yet?
This is a very good question by him, and this is what I was suspecting. Let's see how these people answer, and even if let's see if these three guys even understand the fairy tale story correctly. So this is a good question. Let me go back a little bit. He surprised me with that question. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Singularity exists somehow, I don't even know how to describe it, but it exists outside time and space because time and space haven't come into a being yet. So explain what this means, this singularity.
They're very difficult concepts, but
what's very difficult concepts? He asked you what the singularity was. That's a singular. No pun intended. You're speaking to a plural? Are you on some other show? Are you answering people's questions that are not in front of you, John?
What Hawking did was to confirm what Lemaitre predicted.
That's not his question. Oh my God, is this another No, we're still into it. I'm still good.
And what the redshift showed, and the Hubble telescope, and all the rest of it.
It's not what he asked you, John.
And gave a stronger, more mathematical confirmation of it. And
it. What's it?
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Really?
You know, a mathematical. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but only if you didn't ask it.
Yeah.
Mathematical. Yeah.
He's on another tangent, though. He's not answering the interviewer's question. Simple.
Yeah, because he doesn't. Yeah, because he won't just say, "I haven't got a clue. This is all I just made up." Do you know what I mean? That's why he.
No,
we just make it up.
John knows what the singularity is. He's just off on a tangent that the interviewer didn't ask. Unless he gets back.
Yeah,
He might get back there. Let's let him go.
And in more recent times, there are three brilliant mathematicians, Vilenkin, Borde, and Alan Guth.
Okay. Yeah. See, these are heavy hitters. This heavy hitter is on my website. Remember Alexander Vilenkin, Many Worlds in One, where he said there must have been a beginning? Yeah? That's on my website. Yeah, these are Vilenkin, Borde, and Guth. They presented this to Stephen Hawking back in the day. It said, you're a glue sniffer. That the universe definitely had a beginning, but that's not what the interviewer asked.
Yeah, but go on, Alan.
Number one, QE should never be allowed to work with the elderly. Yeah. This is what old people do. He's setting a scene. He's giving a story.
Listen, I thought it was a direct question, dude. And I was interested in the answer because the answer to that question will let me know whether Lennox or the other guys are pretender clowns that actually know the fairy tale Big Bang story.
He'll get there, won't he?
I can't remember.
You're setting it all up.
Elderly.
I can't remember.
Maybe what I was thinking is that the question involved basically what he was asked is they existed before, and as a tight singularity, before entropy.
No. Where was it? Is his question. Where was it?
Was what?
Was it the singularity? Was it in time and space? Where was it? That's what his question was. So he's not.
I think he asked for a bit more. He asked for a bit more. What it is, where it was, and then is it sitting outside?
Is it sitting outside? Yeah, same friggin' thing. It's not a bit more.
I think you're getting a bit more. Enjoy the historical narrative that the Dungeon Master will present.
Not answering the darn question. Where we got? All right, let's go.
And they worked out mathematically that you just cannot have an infinite sequence going backwards in time.
Did you need those two guys to do it, not answering the question, guy? My word, it's just second law of thermodynamics, dude. It's not rocket surgery.
It's reminiscent of the old Kalam philosophical argument that you can't have an infinite sequence of steps backwards.
You can't have infinite because infinity doesn't exist in reality or mathematics, John. You're a mathematician. Okay, he's getting an X. Got an X for that. I can't help it. X for you.
Yeah, he should know that.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, but you're only going back, however, 6.4 billion years in there. That's not infinite. So you don't need an infinite thing, do you, for any of this? Because it's what you're describing is a point that's finite in regression. So it's not infinite regression like Rufy. It's a finite regression to a starting point.
Not like
so that's not applicable.
Yeah, and it's not sick. It's the singularity. That's supposed to be 13.8 billion years, right? As of this week.
Yeah, I mean, excuse my dating.
That's okay. You're...
Couple of billion here and there. What's that?
Yeah. All right, we're going back to 30 seconds. Let me start it right here at 9. We're on 9. Here we go.
In time. So from their perspective, it's established that there was a beginning. Whether you think in terms of multiverses or not, there was an absolute beginning. And that, of course, confirms the statement of Genesis, which states there was a beginning. And to my mind, it is absolutely fascinating because I was at a conference of some very high-powered physicists not far from here a few years ago, and I made the claim that Genesis, in the beginning God created, was relevant, and I was interrupted by a heckler who was a famous physicist, and he said, "Look, Professor Lennox, you are not saying to us, are you, that you believe that the first statement in Genesis has any relevance for us today?" I said, I am. I said, of course, the Bible is not a textbook of science, but when it says in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, it's talking about the same heavens and earth that you study as a cosmologist.
All right, let's go back.
Boy.
He still didn't answer the damn question, by the way.
He's gone off now, mate. He's reminiscing. Look, I told you, you should not be allowed to work with the elderly. Gotta let him go.
That made me laugh so hard when you said that.
You know, well, back in the day, that was my target population group, by the way. That's who I worked best with. Just want you to know.
Well, now that you're a geezer yourself, you probably should.
Mute her, Brian. Just mute her.
She's getting muted, don't worry.
All right. So let's go, Mr. Not Answering the Question. We headed back. This is fair game for us.
Steps backward in time. So from their perspective, it's established that there was a beginning, whether you think in terms of multiverses or not.
Multiverses?
That was so weird that he just brought that up out of nowhere.
Yeah, I thought that's very strange, John. Do you read 1940s comic books?
No, he's dealing with mitigation unnecessarily. He's a quick thinker, and he's gone back to that, and he's also had someone, what about multiverses? So he's putting it in, and he even deals with that. Yeah, even you know what I mean? You people will love a Marvel adventure story for your creation event.
Yeah,
it deals with that. It's still a beginning, even your multiverses.
Yep, that was, I don't know if it was Marvel. That's where the multiverse, that's where these scientists, that Hugh Everett, his quantum mechanics, many worlds, all that began in a 1940s comic book. Now, I don't think it was, I got it, so I'm not going to track it down. Maybe after, somebody remind me and I'll track it down. But that's where it began. That's where these scientists got their multiverse from. That's funny. I was just watching Riddick the other day. They were chasing after the underverse. That's what this reminds me of. But okay, yeah, why would you bring up the multiverse? Has anyone ever seen a universe? By the way, I'd like universe defined. Has anyone ever seen anything other than a universe? You know, the first step of the scientific method, observe a natural phenomena? No? And they call this science.
How could you say that you've even seen the universe?
Yep. That's not fair, because to be able to do that, you need the gauntlet of power, don't you? With all the stones in. And then you can flip between the multiverses, and then you'd be able to see it. But if you've not got that big golden gauntlet, you're not going to be able to flip between the multiverses that clearly do exist.
He shouldn't have brought that. That was uncalled for.
There was an absolute beginning.
Yeah, that's right. I used that. Here we go. Let's go there. Where are you? Right there. Alexander Vilenkin, Many Worlds in One. It is said that an argument is what convinces reasonable men, and a proof is what it takes to convince even an unreasonable man. He hasn't been in our genre. With the proof now in place, cosmologists can no longer hide behind the possibility of a past eternal universe. There is no escape. They have to face the problem of a cosmic beginning. That's who he was talking about, Vilenkin. He was the head of that three-banded musketeer crew. Where am I at? All right.
And that, of course, confirms the statement of Genesis, which states there was a beginning. And to my mind, it is absolutely fascinating, because I was at a conference of some very high-powered physicists not far from here.
They're really high-powered. Wonder what they got. They got a plug in their ass? Just saying.
They'll be British, so they'll be at 240 volts.
That's what we've missed, right? That abstract, right from the underverse, from Adam. We've missed that.
Don't blame me. Blame the World Cup and the heat.
Yeah. All right.
Few years ago, and I made the claim that Genesis, in the beginning God created, was relevant, and I was interrupted by a heckler who was a famous physicist, and he said, look, Professor Lennox, you are not saying to us, are you, that you believe that the first statement in Genesis has any relevance for us today? I said, I am. I said, of course.
We're in 30 seconds.
We just listened to this, so we're now.
Yeah, we already did the 30 seconds. This is the going back over it.
No, we're into another 30 seconds.
No, we just listened to this.
No, we're in another 30 seconds. I think. Hold on. Just give me a couple seconds.
The Bible is not a textbook of science, but when it says in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, it's talking about the same heavens and earth that you study as a cosmologist.
You're right. Go ahead. That's where we stopped right here. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, it's just his use of the word belief. You know, because beliefs can change.
Yeah.
Like they have a belief in, he has a belief in. Does none of it mean? Who cares?
Be careful.
That's always been a problem.
I want everyone to take note here. Don't use they and them here. I want you to be hyper specific on who you're talking about, because we're crossing genres and we're crossing categories. We have these guys, the interviewer, and then who these guys are referencing, the bad guys. So I just want everyone to be hyper specific, okay?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I apologize.
No.
Yeah, when I say they, I'm talking. Yeah.
Not to take any. I know you don't have to explain it to me. Not to take anything away from your point, though. Beliefs are thrown around by people. They're not paying attention to what they're saying. So it was a good catch. I missed it. But you'll hear belief, I believe, you believe, everyone believes. They don't know what the meaning of that word is. If they did know the meaning of that word, they wouldn't use it. So that was a good point, Brian.
I disagree.
Okay. Of course, this isn't this isn't agree-disagree genre, but go ahead.
No, not in terms of the term definition, but in terms of the way he's using it when he's describing these people. I think he's being kind, because he's not saying they know that there's a Big Bang. He's saying they believe what they believe.
Okay.
I think that's actually a slight indictment and the correct usage. It's not clear he's actually indicting, but actually, if you think about it, it is a subtle indictment.
No, you're right. You're right. He's talking about them, and them being the atheists. That's who he's talking about, right? Is that what you're saying? That's the same thing I'm talking about. Yep.
And atheism is fundamentally a belief.
Yep. Okay.
What he was asked, what he claims he was asked by this physicist who was this heckler, was, John, you don't surely believe that there was a beginning point.
Yeah,
and he agreed that he did.
He did say that. He did say that, Adam. That's all right. I missed it. I missed it too. I missed the context. That's why I said you have to be careful. Make sure you identify they and them, because he's talking about them. But I think he was referring to, the physicist was referring to he, and John should have corrected that physicist about the belief word. Follow?
So this is where I would again say, no, not in this genre. The standards are lower for a reason. And it's academic politeness, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily challenge that word in that thing, because that sidetracks you. You just say, yes, I do believe that, without.
Gotcha. Got it. Then that brings another layer in, right? Yeah. So let's move past this. I think everyone's got it. Let's just move past it, okay?
No, I don't want to, because Brian makes the right point. But again, it comes back to how we critique these guys. Like I say, it's correct, exactly correct in terms of the the point we're making. No, you shouldn't say I believe that. You say I know, and I'll tell you why I know. But that distracts the point. You're on to another point.
We got it. We got it the first time, Adam. You're repeating yourself. We got it. You're right.
Have you missed it? You must have missed that bit of repetition.
Yeah, no. So let's move on past this. We got it. Now we're into another 30 seconds.
Cosmologist. Now, I said the interesting thing is that for centuries, what we now call science was dominated by the idea that matter, space, was eternal, because Aristotle held sway. And it was only in the 1960s that the evidence started coming in that there was a beginning. Now, I said in my country of the UK, it was resisted by the scientific establishment.
And by Einstein himself.
All right, headed back 11 minutes.
I have to admit, I didn't fully get Adam's point.
That's a dumb one. Oh my God, I'm going to bubble your frigging eye.
I just said I'd say it. I was like, what exactly?
Book of science.
But my point is, why would you jump on the word believe? I could agree it's correct.
Brian, challenge it. I'm going to whoop your ass.
Higher level. Yeah, he did it. This last bit here, this is just, I've got no problem with this. It's actually quite intelligent. It's a bit of history. And it's exactly what you're saying, John. All this nonsense wasn't believed by anybody until the modern era, where we start to invoke this. If anything, we were led by a bit of Greek philosophy, that the universe was infinite, always. You know what I mean? It's not until modern times that we think about it in
their dates are
non-ancient ways.
Their dates are off, and I indicted them last week for it. But now that John's not continuing to answer the question that he was asked, we're going to get into that here. So we're going to stop it, Adam. You're going to have plenty to speak on here, because I'm going to stop it. All right? This is not the 30 seconds. This is our review.
I said, of course, the Bible is not a textbook of science, but when it says in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, it's talking about the same heavens and earth that you study as a cosmologist.
As a pseudoscientist, because cosmology is pseudoscience. John? I'm not X him. I didn't X him for that, by the way.
Now, I said the interesting thing is
1 second.
that first.
What the piss, man?
Yeah, I thought Adam was going to say something and he didn't, and that's why I was quiet. Yeah, he's like, they're not studying the heavens and the earth, because if they were, they wouldn't be coming up with the nonsense they're coming up with. If they were studying it for what it is, they wouldn't be coming up with any of that. So they were never doing that. That's the problem. They're studying their own concepts at best.
Thanks.
Centuries.
But the thing is, I like what he said. It's simple, and it holds scripture there, and it invites you to challenge it. But ultimately, he's going to say no. And this is what he's highlighted. No, for years and years and years, most of philosophy would have took the Greek position and disagreed with scripture. But actually, when we look at stuff, you come to the conclusion there is the beginning. Now, let's go to Genesis. You don't have to agree with the ascribement of who created a beginning, but look at scripture. It points out, correct, by your modern thinking, there has to have been a beginning. It ascribes a cause, God. But you guys still have to agree that scripture held true even all that time, because even now you've come to the conclusion that it wasn't eternal and always there. There was a beginning. I think that's his point.
Yeah.
Scriptures will hold true.
Yep.
Science will change, but the scripture will turn out to be ultimately true.
You mean? I ain't gonna go there. Here we go.
I know. I knew what I said. Yeah. Okay. Git.
Heavens and earth that you study as a cosmologist. Now, I said the interesting thing is that for centuries, what we now call science was dominated by the idea that matter, space, was eternal, because Aristotle held sway.
Did Aristotle, see, I studied Aristotle, but that was many, 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 many moons ago. So, did I miss that? Did Aristotle think that that everything was eternal, that the universe was eternal? He must have. John just said he did.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he was speaking only about matter and energy. If you know what I mean, when it comes to Greek philosophy, everything involves something outside of matter and energy.
No. I don't want you to wax philosophical on Greek philosophy. Did Aristotle state that the universe was eternal?
Well, I was giving a bit of waxing philosophy.
Yeah, I know you were. That's why I put a stop to it.
For a good reason. Because if we're going to talk about Greek philosophers who
We're not.
really...
We're not. That's not the question. I will say it again. Did Aristotle himself, not Socrates, not Plato, not any of the other guys, Aristotle, did he state, he must have, like I said, because John just said it. I trust him to know what he's talking about in this vicinity, although I can't remember that. Does anyone know for sure?
I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Go on, Adam.
Go ahead, Adam.
So key aspects of Aristotle's view from his book Physics on the Heavens. So eternal matter. All things come from an underlying substratum, matter. Matter itself cannot have been created, as that would have been prior matter. So it must be eternal. A beginning would imply a prior state of nothingness, a vacuum, which Aristotle rejected.
Huh. That's interesting, especially when he was the key driver behind the first cause and the uncaused cause. That sounds a little bit contradictory there, Aristotle. I'm not here to indict him, but okay, here we go.
And it was only in the 1960s that the evidence started coming in that there was a beginning.
That's a crock of shit. Not the 1960s, John. I told you last week, 1850, the second law of thermodynamics was codified by Rudolf Clausius and Lord Kelvin. Those principles came even before those two guys. Now, there was other people involved too. I just don't want to limit it to them, but they're the big guys in the room. By Carnot, Sadi Carnot, laid the principles down in the early 1820s. So where are you in the 1960s? What? And like I said before, you didn't need Carnot or Clausius to formalize it. You just needed to throw a banana out in the friggin' yard, right? Or watch you and everyone around you and all the animals and then things decay and age. So what are you on about? I feel like X, and I'm going to X him. He gets an X for that shit. Any comment?
I would say, so that conclusion can be from there, but that's not to say that would be the popular view that's held. So I think that's probably what he's alluding to, that the mainstream view is not really subject to the reality that there must be a beginning, even though it was obvious by the implications of the laws of thermodynamics that has to be the obvious conclusion, but it's not held until that point later on. 1960 seems a bit late, but I suppose that is when does the Big Bang come in? It's Lemaitre, isn't it? And
yes, late 1920s.
Yeah, so that again, I question the dating then, but I think I get his point. He's just a bit critical. I'd be critical on the dating, not necessarily the point he's making, which I think is really valid.
I X'd him. Anything else?
Okay. No, let's move on. He's got the cross.
Nice.
He got to the point where I had to X him. Now, if he recovers, I'll take the X off. I'll get rid of the X if he recovers here. We got till 11 minutes or so. Just a few more seconds to go.
And I said in my country of the UK, it was resisted by the scientific establishment.
And by Einstein himself.
Einstein.
Resisted? What was resisted by the scientific establishment?
The Big Bang, the singularity.
No, he's not on the singularity. He's on creation.
He is. It's all the same thing to him. This starting point. I don't think he's moved off.
All right, let's let him go. Another 30 seconds or so.
Einstein himself, who did later change his mind, though. Which
So the notion of a Big Bang, if the proper way to understand it, even though there's a lot of math involved, this is strictly speaking a scientific finding. This is an empirical finding. No philosopher, on the contrary, Aristotle didn't predict it. We discovered it. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think we discovered evidence for it. In the 1950s, most scientists didn't believe it. It wasn't until 1964 with this discovery of the microwave background radiation.
Okay, that's another point. The microwave background radiation.
Yeah,
tell me what that means.
That was the convincing argument. This same thing that Steve talked about.
It's different from the redshift. Is it, or is
a
it,
separate line of evidence
All
that
right.
provides additional confirmation at the beginning?
Yeah, so there was further confirmation, and the scientific community was not there, and then all of a sudden, it started changing in the early 60s.
Okay.
All right, back we go. 1 minute. I had to let him finish up there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 J's. Get ready. This is juicy, as you already heard. Here we go.
Einstein himself.
Einstein himself, who did later change his mind, though. Which
He changed his mind about what?
About a Big Bang.
About a Big Bang. Did he change his mind? Okay.
The notion of a Big Bang, if the proper way to understand it, even though there's a lot of math involved, this is strictly speaking a scientific finding. This is
No. It's
It couldn't be more wrong.
Yeah, it couldn't be.
Totally wrong. Wait and see the word he uses next.
Don't
Empirical,
anticipate.
which would be, no, we're not anticipating. We already listened to 30 seconds of it.
There's empiricism to some of the measurements taken, but what there isn't is any science in this. We've covered this a million times. And the next bit they're going to do, we've got then a cosmic background radiation where we can infer even more something else. This is the trouble with this. There's no science at all to support it. There's just inference. So something else we discovered matched what we thought might be happening. So we've inferred that it's definitely true.
Yep, that was a good one, Flatsy, by the way. Thanks for that spanking. that was really sharp and really good. I was impressed. Thank you.
It's an empirical finding. No philosopher, on the contrary, Aristotle didn't predict it. We discovered it. Is that fair?
Discovered what? Didn't predict. Aristotle didn't predict what? We discovered it. What's it? That's my question.
Yeah, I think we discovered evidence for it in the
evidence for it. So he's on the Big Bang.
Listen to that mitigation. See, he hasn't got a clue, has he, told what he's just said, that he discovered. Yeah, we discovered evidence. I suppose you could word it like that. Yep. We've got this background. Yeah, he doesn't know what that means either. He's just being polite, and then he's rephrasing it. Yeah.
Yep. That's what he's doing.
1950s, most scientists didn't believe it. It wasn't until 1960.
Because we're interested in what scientists believe. We're interested in what scientists accept without evidence. That's what we're interested in.
Well, again, right, when we're talking about this, that's all they can do with their inference is believe something. They can't say, I know for sure. Yeah, they can't do that. They certainly can't validate it scientifically. That's the thing. So, again, I'm happy. I can't pick him up because to say anything other than believe is false. That's all they are doing is believing.
Yeah, but he's saying it. Okay, I'm going to let him go because he's giving a report about them. So I'll let him go. Follow Adam? I'll let him go.
1964 with this discovery of the microwave background radiation.
Okay, that's another.
Yeah, the cosmic microwave CMB. Yeah, I put that together with redshift back in the day in a presentation. It's on my channel. I told all you guys, go look at the playlist. I don't know where I put that mug, but it's in there somewhere. Maybe I'll search it out for the next time we come on, and I'll have somebody post a link in there on train wrecking the CMB and the redshift. It was too easy, and it was a lot of fun, by the way. But here we go.
The point, the microwave background radiation.
Yeah,
tell me what that means.
That was the convincing argument. This same thing that Steve talked about.
It's different from the redshift, is it? Or is
a
it
separate line of evidence
All
that
right.
provides additional confirmation at the beginning.
Yeah. So
CMB. Yeah, I was going to. So the CMB is additional, according to Stephen Meyer, additional evidence of what? Creation or the Big Bang?
No, neither. Just a beginning. So that, and I think that's him. That all of that data is lovely, isn't it? But it doesn't prove anything. But it does show a regression. That's it. But it doesn't infer that that regression leads to a creator or a singularity, Big Bang, whatever that is.
Right.
To me,
I'm glad you said that.
Me too.
I was going to say it too. I was going to say that they're in their minds. I think that they are conflating all of three of those things: the singularity, the beginning, and the Big Bang.
Yeah, that's why it's a little bit confusing. We'll trudge through it.
He said,
so there was,
before you go, he said, I was the first person to ask you to stop.
Go, Brian.
So calm down there. I'm getting sick of it, right? He said, right, that was the argument that convinced people. Why would you need to convince people?
True.
No, that they believe in a Big Bang, Brian. Yeah, that's the point of this. There's no proof. Yeah, because this is cosmology. This is theoretical physics. So you're never going to prove anything, but you might convince somebody with something that you can interpret data, something empirical that's real. It's there, and if you interpret it, you can induce a belief in someone, can't you? Induce a cause.
Evidence that provides additional confirmation at the beginning.
Yeah, so there was further confirmation, and so the scientific community was not there, and then all of a sudden it started changing in the early 60s.
Okay.
So the scientific community doesn't exist, and this isn't science. But he's reporting on what they did. I follow that. So I'm not going to indict him for that. He's just reporting to the interviewer what had happened, right? Am I on it?
Well, yeah, yes and no. Because is he not therefore invoking a correlation that there is a correlation between the invocation of a Big Bang and LSD use. As the use of LSD rose in the 60s, more and more people were convinced. Yeah, I could show that correlation.
That's a good correlation.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I understand Adam's critiques on us and how we would critique this and concerning how they are responding to these questions. But some of the things, like they're saying, it's just, I can't, it's like the way they're answering, they're not separating themselves from these other people and the claims of these other people. So they're not saying these people, blah, blah, blah. They're kind of going, yeah, there's a kind of them and us and we, and there's all this kind of stuff going on there. And it's not, I'd have to critique them on that. No, I'm not going to give them a pass.
I don't think they've said anything other than describe the history of it and still making the point that ultimately the academic world has come to the conclusion that there was a beginning, which is the Dungeon Master said there, look, Genesis 1 points that out for you if you were interested. I think we're still at that point. There's just a lot of pontification and knowledge sharing.
Well, I like both of your points. I think that they give us a nice balance, a nuance to weigh both in our minds while they're talking, because I can see where Brian's coming from. They don't seem to separate themselves from what the academic world, or what they call the scientific community, what they've stated over the years. Yet, they have to, if they're, and eventually they're going to have to separate themselves to confirm that the Bible is true.
Well, and that's, to me, what they're doing now, Flatsy. All these guys, exactly as you said, they were part of that world, and they didn't speak up, and they went along for the sake of another grant with all this plod, and never, ever pointed out the implications of their knowledge. Yeah, until now. And all three of them are masters in their fields, and the implications of their expertise in their fields are that. But the thing that frustrates us is they're not jumping up and down like we're trying to show the implications. They're very slow and laboured, and I can't criticise them because all they've done is describe the history very slowly.
Brian can because I get the same feeling that he has. I do. But I can't indict them. I want to, because I'm getting that same feeling Brian's talking about, that they're joining in here, but I'm not going to indict them. I'm going to let it go because I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Brian shouldn't work in a care home either then, because he's going to get like a disciplinary going, why were you shouting at the resident? And he'll go, I asked them, did they want soup or a sandwich? And they told me about the war.
They still didn't get to the singularity, by the way. All right, let's see if I think I stopped it here. Let's see. I'll let it go for a couple of seconds.
Can I take just another quick hit?
Sure.
No, this is definitely into another 30 seconds. So here we go.
Cut at the Stephen Hawking result, because what Hawking is doing.
He resisted it himself, didn't he?
Later. After he proved the singularity theorem, then he wasn't quite sure he liked his own result, yes. But the basic idea is actually quite intuitive. According to Einstein's theory of general relativity, which is just a theory of gravity, massive bodies curve the fabric of space, or what's called space-time. And Hawking realized, he was studying black hole physics in the 1960s, and he realized that in the forward direction of time, matter, according to the astronomers, was getting more and more diffuse as the universe expanded, which meant that the curvature of the universe was getting less and less pronounced. But in the reverse direction of time, the matter would have been more and more densely concentrated. And so as you go back further and further and further, that more densely concentrated matter of the universe is causing the space of the universe to become more and more tightly curved. And if you go back far enough, you eventually reach a limiting case where
I got to stop it right there. It's going too long. So we're going to go back. This is juicy. We're headed back. You're busted, Meyer. You're absolutely busted. I'm going to bust you. Here we go.
And then all of a sudden, it started changing in the early 60s.
Okay.
Peter, can I take just another quick hit?
Sure.
Cut at the Stephen Hawking result, because what Hawking is doing.
He resisted it himself, didn't he?
Later, after he proved the singularity theorem, then he wasn't quite sure he liked.
He proved the singularity theorem? What's that?
When he says proved, like I said, it's what I said earlier. It's a mathematical proof. He didn't prove it's true. It was just prove. It was a proof he provided. Yeah, mathematical proof. That's differential of the same word. You know what I mean? That's naughty. And what's more telling is he then didn't like it. He didn't like it. Like, you can see it's not science. So let me get another formula for something I like a bit more. This is the field we're dealing in. It's not reality. When he said result, there's no result. It's just numbers on a page that either proves something, a mathematical proof or not, i.e. balances. That's all he's doing.
From Jaggedy Pandian, PhD physics. A singularity means a point where some property is infinite. You got big problems coming. Good.
You're way ahead of these guys. We've not. Well, I'm sure they're going to come back to the singularity, right? We're discussing at great length the possibilities of the backwards working bit before we get to the singularity.
He's talking about the singularity theorem. That's what he said.
Yeah, but look at the pontificate. Before you carry on, James Tor, I'm gonna get this bit in that I've already had written down about Einstein and how he checked. Yeah, it's coming because it's scripted. This, yeah. So I've got to put this bit in.
Superchat.
That'll clear things up.
I missed you, bugger.
Oh, Roger Ledwell sent. I don't think we ever will get there, Kiwi.
Yeah. Now, thanks, Roger.
I believe.
Yeah. Well, Meyer said that Hawking proved the singularity theorem. So I am right on point. A singularity means a point, no pun intended, where a property is infinite. There's going to be big problems ahead. For example, at the center of a black hole, there we go. This is Stephen Hawking-ish. According to classical theory, the density is infinite because finite mass is compressed to a zero volume. Remember this? The Big Bang singularity from Phizlink.com. Big Bang singularity is a point of zero volume, but very high mass, which makes the density infinite. So volume can't be zero in this equation, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah? Every primary school student knows you can't divide by frigging zero. You zero IQ morons. So now we not only can divide by zero, but when we do, the answer is infinity. That's my point. So he didn't prove jack squat. He proved that he's a moron.
What a good presentation, Kiwi.
Yeah, I'm on these guys.
Infinity isn't a number, is it? That's the thing, you see. It's not a number, it's a concept. Do it on your calculator and your calculator crashes. It don't deal in concepts.
Yep, exactly. What else? Stephen Meyer. Now, see, he's reporting what, so I can't gig Stephen Meyer. I'm in this tight vice-like squeeze. I hope we get out of this shit so I can start to indict people. So he's only reporting, so I'm going to let you go.
Like his own result, yes. But the basic idea is actually quite intuitive. According to Einstein's theory of general relativity, which
is not a scientific theory. So it seems like the professor, he's getting an X. He needs to stop that shit. Right? He's a philosopher, historian of science, PhD. It's not a scientific theory, Stephen Meyer. So that should have been, if you don't bring it out, that X stays here in the next couple seconds. So it's not a scientific theory at all.
Which is just a theory of gravity.
Oh boy, you're muted.
It's not a fucking scientific theory, Stephen.
I feel like Stephen might be one of those guys who rides the coattails of those two guys to his right. I think that John Lennox seems to be the most knowledgeable person at the table so far.
For right now.
Massive bodies curve the fabric of space, or what's called
You're muted.
Yeah. Massive bodies curve. Let's let him go.
Called space-time. And Hawking realized, he was studying black hole physics in the 1960s, and he realized that in the forward direction of time, matter, according to the astronomers, was getting more and more diffuse as the universe expanded, which meant that it was getting, the curvature of the universe was getting less and less pronounced.
We may have a problem here. The curvature of the universe was getting less and less pronounced. Let's let him go.
But in the reverse direction of time, the matter would have been more and more densely concentrated. And so as you go back further and further and further, that more densely concentrated matter of the universe is causing the space of the universe to become more and more tightly curved. And
that's incorrect. You're incorrect. He doesn't know what the singularity is, and he doesn't know what the Big Bang is. And I don't think any on this panel know what exactly I'm going to show you. Watch this. From the BigBangTheory.com. The singularity didn't appear in space, Stephen Meyer. Rather, space began inside of the singularity. Prior to the singularity, nothing existed. Not space, time, matter, or energy. Nothing. So where and in what did the singularity appear, if not in space? We don't know. That's it.
You need to go back to this and put a K at the end of that nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, I do need to put a K on that. Yeah. You see that?
It's still going back in time. We're wrapping back up all of the universe and the multiverses to get to that singularity still. We're not there yet. We're describing how you pack it back up, going backwards in time.
Yeah, but he doesn't know. 1 second, Brian. He doesn't know, and I don't think anyone on the panel know what the actual story is. Because I'm getting the feeling, I got the definite feeling that the singularity, that Stephen Meyer thinks that the singularity arrived in space, in the vacuum of space somehow. But he's got it wrong. Follow? Go ahead, Brian.
He's folding space up right now. Sorry, Brian.
Go on, Alan. I'll go.
Yeah, he's just described what he's doing. He's going backwards in time. He's folding it all back up, and he's saying this space-time, fabric of space-time thing, it's getting more and more curvy because as it gets closer and closer and the mass, it bends more of the time. I mean, it's waffle, but it is. I'm not having a disagreement with it. I hear your frustration that they're not getting to the bloody point where the singularity was, which is, but they're not there yet.
He did.
I don't think they're there yet. I can't indict them for getting it wrong, because I don't think they've got to that point yet.
Yeah, he did. That's why I stopped here and went here. He did. So, go ahead, Brian, quickly.
Yeah, I think they're all in a bit of a quandary, whereas they're trying to speak about a situation where there is no matter or energy, but they can't not put it into a situation where there would be matter and energy. Because even speaking about the vacuum, a vacuum is defined by a lack of matter and energy. So for even a vacuum to be defined, matter and energy must exist. So they can't describe what they're trying to describe because they can't leave the paradigm in their own minds to describe it.
Boy. Okay.
Yep. I would say that their heliocentric spinning space monkey ball tard religion is keeping them from understanding it.
They don't even understand the fairy tale story that they're supposed to know, is my point.
No, they don't. I was going to stop it when he said on the point of him saying curving. Like, what's it curving? This curving thing has to come after the Big Bang.
Yep.
So I understood your point, just in case you think I didn't.
Yep. So let's go from 1302. Let's try this. Probably went further, but let's go not 1202, John. 1302, so I can keep track of this. Here we go. 30 seconds.
And if you go back far enough, you eventually reach a limiting case where you can't go back any further because the matter is so densely concentrated, it becomes infinitely dense, and the curvature goes to an infinite. And at that point, the laws of physics break down, and that.
I got to stop it. There are no laws of physics. That's horseshit. You don't know what he's getting an X. He's leading the X race. Just want you to know.
That's what marks the beginning of the universe.
All right. So we have, I said we were going to go work our way through 3 of these scientific developments. But John has already touched on this. The challenge to a purely materialist view of the universe from the Big Bang, if I have it right, is that there must have been a first mover. Where if there was a beginning, something had to begin it. That's the question, at least it raises.
Matter, space, time, and energy begin at a finite time ago. Then before that, or independent of that, there is no matter to do the causing. So you can't have a materialistic explanation for the origin of matter itself.
Got it. All right. Fine-tuning. This is the second of the 3 developments.
Yeah, we're going to stop. Yep. I'm going to stop it there.
All right, we're going to go back, though?
Yep.
No.
Yeah, why don't you just wait, Adam? You're going to hear it again.
Yeah.
Just tell me to stop.
I'm getting it.
Yeah. Just tell me to stop.
Yeah.
I don't like it, Adam, but what can we do? We don't run this show.
Damn Skippy.
We could try, Brian. Take over.
So we have here...
that won't work. I'll slice your fucking kneecaps off.
Oh, my gosh. Just play it.
I'll withhold your royalties.
All right. I am available for change. It's called lacking constitution. There we go.
All right. So we have here, I said we were going to go work our way through 3 of these scientific developments. But
really? Scientific developments, eh? I can't indict. I can't indict him. I'm not going to. He's just the interviewer. I'm not going to do anything. Good.
Again, but John has already touched on this. The challenge to a purely materialist view of the universe from the Big Bang, if I have it right, is that there must have been a first mover. Where if there was a beginning, something had to be.
So, first of all, you're right. They didn't get there, John, in terms of the singularity and saying it, because we've now moved on with the conclusion that there has to be a beginning, the creator. So the detail wasn't there. Whether they didn't know it, they certainly didn't share it. So fair play. That's what I would say there, because that is, like I say, this is the question asker, not the expert, and he's moved on now and made the summation of agreement with Dungeon Master.
Is that your beautiful English language from the Great Britain, the question asker?
Yeah.
What are they called?
The interviewer, but the question asker is good enough. I know what you mean.
I was just being a shithead.
I think I deserve pulling up on that, Platsy. I'm not as happy with interviewer.
It was
host.
It was substanceless.
Begin it. That's the question, at least it raises.
Matter, space, time, and energy begin at a finite time ago. Then before that, or independent of that, there is no matter to do the causing. So,
see, you could see John Lennox. I saw it when we went through the 30 seconds earlier. I guess it was 40 seconds. John Lennox is over there trying to get in, and Stephen Meyer wants to keep rambling on.
They keep getting X's.
Yep.
Just
so you can't have
a material. Is he not intimating a little bit like I say, lack of detail? So there is no matter before this point. There isn't a big ball of matter waiting to explode. There's nothing. There is nothing in anything. He's not explaining it well, but I don't think he's incorrect or misrepresenting it. He's just not explaining it. He's just making his own point. There is no matter, which I can't disagree with. It's just not correct, is it? It's not full.
It's not full. Exactly. You got it.
Materialistic explanation for the origin of matter itself.
Got it. All right. Fine tuning.
Next 30 seconds. So 1356. Here we go.
This is the second of the 3 developments. Once again, we'll begin with an excerpt from The Story of Everything.
The basic idea of fine-tuning is that the universe is just so, that its properties, the initial conditions, the so-called constants of physics, the laws of nature, rest on a razor's edge, so that if they were slightly different than they are in the actual universe, the universe would not be habitable. That is, it would not be compatible with life.
What's he talking about? Give us some sense of the kinds of parameters.
Well, the fine-tuning idea is just the idea that the basic parameters of physics fall within very narrow ranges, outside of which life, even stable galaxies, even basic chemistry would be impossible. So we've been talking about the expansion of the universe. It turns out that the force that is responsible for that expansion, called the cosmological constant, is fine-tuned to something like 1 part in 10 to the 90th power. A little smidge this way, a little smidge that way, you'll get either a heat death or a recollapse of the universe. The force of gravity, the strength of the force, depicted by something called the gravitational force constant, the mass of the quarks, the elementary particles, all of these different parameters, the speed of light, they all fall within these sweet spots. So physicists are now talking about are living in a Goldilocks universe, not too hot, not too cold, not too strong, not too weak, everything just right.
So if I picture myself
15.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I do not agree with them letting Stephen Meyer take the reins on all these questions. What the heck is wrong with them?
Yep, he screwed the pooch.
I think
But he's not reporting. He's not reporting anymore, Adam.
No, he's kind of straw manning them, in a way, or the standard rhetoric.
Yep.
The atheist rhetoric. He's not doing a bad job, I don't think, because ultimately that little phrase, whilst lacking this Goldilocks thing, that's the kind of rhetoric that they use themselves. Because basically they said, well, if it didn't work how we observe it, then it won't work. Well, I mean, that's freaking brilliant, isn't it?
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the fine-tuning argument isn't from the bad guys. It's from the good guys. Now, I was never big on the fine-tuning argument. I do agree with a lot of the concept. It never, did it for me. Not that it's not a good point. I just never went down that path. I had other paths to go down.
Because it doesn't make any sense to do it. Only if you're some sort of atheist, which what is even that? It's only if you don't believe that there is a creator, but you still have creation right in front of you, so fine-tuned. It just doesn't even make any sense to even pontificate on it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is now we're into his position. He's not talking about other people's positions. The fine-tuning argument is a creationist position. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, like besides all the other nonsense that was said there by the Stephen Meyer, really what they're referring to is, and Adam will like this, water always seems to freeze at this particular temperature.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like if it didn't do that, even if that one thing didn't happen, the rest would collapse, kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's one. Yeah, you could go with water. There's many. I think there's over like 250 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Now, there's a few headline crashers that I think maybe they'll get into, but I just want to make sure that we're not straddling two fences here. This is now Stephen Meyer's. This is going to be his position.
Opinion.
Yeah, is what I'm trying to say. So here we go.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you there.
Yep. So we don't have to sidestep anything, and then let Adam mitigate for these guys.
I'm not mitigating. I want a bit of the fine tuning in terms of creationists. Then what? Summarize their position for me, because I'm not 100% sure why you'd invoke it or what you're invoking.
What I'm invoking? I'm not invoking anything.
No,
they are.
Them. No, exactly them. Well, just summarize their position is what.
Well, we'll get to some. Well, let them do it.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna. That's what. This is fair game. So tell me to stop.
To do the causing, so you can't have a materialistic explanation for the origin of matter itself.
No, that's not going to be an explanation anyway. Stephen Meyer doesn't know what explanations are. Yeah, I am gigging him.
X.
Got it. All right. Fine-tuning. This is the second of the three developments. Once again, we'll begin with an excerpt from The Story of Everything.
The basic idea of fine-tuning is that the universe is just so, that its properties, the initial conditions, the so-called constants of physics, the laws of nature rest on a razor's edge, so that if they were slightly different than they are in the actual universe, the universe would not be habitable. That is, it would not be compatible with life.
What's he talking about? Give us some sense of the kinds of parameters.
Well, the fine-tuning idea is just the idea that the basic parameters of physics fall within very narrow ranges, outside of which life, even stable galaxies, even basic chemistry would be impossible. So we've been talking about the expansion of the universe. It turns out that the force that is responsible for that expansion it's called the cosmological constant.
Really?
Oh, brother. See, this is where they need to differentiate natural law, natural science. These things need to be separate and not conflated together.
So, and it says he's of this position, Adam, this expanding out, right? And this force that's forcing this expansion, what is this, the cosmological constant? Oh boy, Stephen.
Is fine-tuned to something like 1 part in 10 to the 90th power.
That sounds pretty impressive.
Why would they even quantify that? It makes no sense to me.
Well, they have to quantify it to make sure it's got cowbell for them. They got to quantify it. So they're ball-tards at heart. You got to give them some slack.
That way, you'll get either a heat death or a recollapse of the universe. The force of gravity, the strength.
Force of gravity, eh? You're piling up the X's there, friend.
Oh my goodness, that's one thing I wanted to say. You said gigging him like you frogs.
No, gigs. They're gigs. It's a military thing, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
If you do something wrong, or if you're in an inspection and somebody and the inspector finds something that shouldn't be there, that's a gig. That's what they call a gig. Sorry about that.
Strength of the force depicted by something called the gravity.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just sarcastically, how much force of gravity does it take to curve space-time?
Nicely done.
Yeah.
People should look up frog gigging to wonder if you're wondering.
Let's get off the gigging, okay? Thank you.
The force of gravity, the strength of the force depicted by something called the gravitational force constant.
Gravitational force constant. Did you listen to Veritasium at the beginning of this video, Stephen Meyer? I'll tell you what. I'm Xing you. You're racking them up, brother. I don't have any for Tor. None. He hasn't said much.
The mass of the quarks, the element.
Define mass. I ain't gonna gig them.
Particles.
Well, Steve Meyer should say less things.
Thank you for the color commentary. About 5 seconds later. Anything else?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Speed of light, they all fall within these sweet spots. So physicists are now.
Do you know what the speed of light is, Stephen Meyer? Nope, he doesn't. No one does. No one knows the one-way speed of light.
Now talking about our living in a Goldilocks universe. Not too hot, not too cold, not too strong, not too weak. Everything just right.
So if I picture myself in a control room.
30 seconds from this point, so 15, 20. Here we go.
With knobs, any one of which, if some child walked in and bumped into any one of these knobs, the universe as we know it, and certainly human life as we know it on this planet, could no longer continue. How many knobs are there?
Several dozen, depending on which physicist you ask. The illustration that you cite is actually an illustration of one of John's teachers at the University of Cambridge, Sir John Polkinghorne, the famous physicist. He used to ask his students to depict the fine-tuning. He asked them to imagine a universe-creating machine with a knob for the strength of gravity, one for electromagnetism, one for the cosmological constant, a slider for the speed of light, and so on. And the point was that each one of those those parameters are precisely set, and a little bit off this way or that way, and the consequences to the possibility of life in the universe would be catastrophic.
Life in the universe, but also the ability to do chemistry?
Let's stop it right there. Oh, we're going to James Tour. He finally turned his head and looked over at him. So we got to go back to 1520. Here we go, fair game.
Picture myself in a control room with knobs, any one of which, if some child walked in and bumped into any one of these knobs, the universe as we know it, and certainly human life as we know it on this planet, could no longer continue. How many knobs are there?
Several dozen, depending on which physicist you.
There's a lot more than several dozen. David.
No,
First of all, Earth is not a planet.
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
There's a knob in every bit of every single thing that we can discover. There's a knob there.
Yep.
As Brian alluded to, just every. It's not several dozen. It's every single cause and effect relationship you can imagine. There's a knob there. Yeah, even down to an electron. And I assume that's why he's going to look at Tor. But I'm not criticizing him. He's presenting a piss poor theory, and I think he's doing a good job. I don't think he's stating his own position even. My only point is, why would any creationist get on board with this other than to point out that it's an untenable position, this Goldilocks zone, as they're describing it? That's untenable. It's unrealistic. Because there's so many knobs and everything, it has to, for me, demonstrate a perfect creation, not a perfect running flush. Do you know what I mean? That you just drew it. That is the infinite universes where all of the others have collapsed, but luckily one survives because there's infinite possibilities. That's the only way you can get to that conclusion, which is, again, atheist apologetics.
You ask, the illustration that you cite is actually an illustration of one of John's teachers at the University of Cambridge, Sir John Polkinghorne, the famous physicist. He used to ask his students to depict the fine-tuning. He asked them to imagine a universe-creating machine with a knob for the strength of gravity, one for electromagnetism, one for the cosmological constant, a slider for the speed of light, and so on. And the point was that each one of those parameters are precisely set, and a little bit off this way or that way.
Basically, majority of what he named out there have absolutely nothing got to do with what he's talking about. Majority of what his examples there is what I mean. The examples he gave are not part of what he's supposed to be describing. The majority of it.
Yeah, you already said that. Do you want to get specific?
Well, no, it's just he's supposed to be detailing these things that cannot be changed without the whole thing collapsing. And he's talking about a force of gravity, the speed of light, all these things that have absolutely nothing. They're all subjective. They have absolutely nothing got to do with the objectivity of one of these things changing and everything.
Well, they don't even know. They got the force of gravity wrong, and they don't know the one-way speed of light, so they're full of crap. Yeah, I agree with you there. But there's other ones that are attributable to the fine-tuning. Not all of them.
Yeah, I know that. But my point being is that this guy, Stephen Moyer, is not giving examples that match what he's supposed to be describing.
Fair enough.
That's my point.
And the consequences to the possibility of life in the universe would be catastrophic.
Life in the universe, but also the ability to do chemistry?
There's what, 30 seconds, 16:19. Here we go. Here we go, Flatsy. You got your guy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you run into these in your life?
Well, actually, Steve was underestimating the number of fine-tuning parameters there are. If you just change the dipole moment of water, say that word again.
Oh, I have to stop it. They got you. Adam and Brian Adams, they're on the water. He's on the water. He's right. He's right. So, sorry
you've got to see, Tor backed me up there, didn't he?
Yes.
You've vastly underestimated the number of dials. Exactly, that's my point.
Yes.
This is perfect. Everything down to the quantum level of perfection, this creation.
Yes. I just wanted to stop it there. We're going to continue. Let's get some thoughts from James Storr.
Dipole moment of water. So just how much electron density there is on one side of the water molecule versus the other, just slightly, a fraction of a percent, very small, life becomes impossible. Everything in chemistry is balanced perfectly for us to have life.
Fantastic. All right, you're a mathematician. How improbable?
Man, I wanted more from James. Let's keep it.
He kind of highlighted what I was talking about, like how absurd it is to even argue fine-tuning of the universe.
It could be argued. I've seen people argue it with the headliners. There's a big one that these two guys haven't touched on. However, from what he said about the dipole moment, I can't agree more with what he just said, and it highlights what Brian Adams was talking about. He's correct. So he's correct, and Adam and Brian is correct, and James Storr, I'm not going to get on him. He is absolutely on it. I'll let it continue.
Probable is life. Is there a way of quantifying this?
It's extremely improbable. I think a very good example of a reaction to an early form of fine-tuning was Sir Fred Hoyle, who was an atheist and who was my examiner at Cambridge. And he predicted a resonance in carbon, which was later discovered. And when it was discovered, his reaction was, nothing shook my atheism like that discovery.
It affected him, Brian, some bitch.
Well, this is
Sir
what I was
Roger
saying.
Penrose is one of the most brilliant math.
I'm going to stop it right here because John is going to hit on somebody that I used as I said I didn't use a fine-tuning argument, but I picked one, and it's the one that I use, and it's he's going to talk about it right now, so I'll stop him. 17-6. I didn't use the argument a lot, only when the opportunity arose, mainly when mainly when other people brought the subject up. But go ahead.
Yeah, right. Really, the fine-tuning argument would be towards an atheist. Otherwise, it seems a bit crazy to even discuss in this manner.
Sure, that's where it's directed to. Yes, that's who they're against. Flatsy. These three guys. That's who they're against.
Okay.
Jesus.
Universe, but also the ability to do chemistry. Do you run into these in your life?
Well, actually, Steve was underestimating the number of fine-tuning parameters.
Yeah, he is. He's already busted. We knew he was busted from the beginning. And I gave him an X, James Storr.
Parameters there are. If you just change the dipole moment of water,
shout out to Brian Adams.
Say that word again.
The dipole moment of water. So just how much electron density there is on one side of the water molecule versus the other, just slightly, a fraction of a percent, very small, life becomes impossible. Everything in chemistry is balanced perfectly for us to have life.
Fantastic. All right, you're a mathematician. How improbable?
You see what he did? Fantastic. And then Blue steals John Lennox. Fantastic.
Pause a second. Just a second. I found it interesting that he went so fast to John Lennox there. I know he wants to include them, both James Storr and John Lennox, because he talked a lot to Stephen Moore. Yep. But what he was just told there was no debate about.
Yeah.
There was no, so he couldn't have anything. He just went, well, let's just go to John Lennox. You know what I mean? I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
As in, from an album.
Yeah, there was no affirmation like put the gavel. There should be a gavel there, right? And put it down. I agree with you, Brian. They go back. They go through these points like, yeah. I understand the interviewer wants to get as much information out as possible, but in doing so, it's sort of flippant, and it kind of aggravates me. I'm sure there's going to be other cases. Yeah, I got you. I felt it. Yep.
Well, the problem is that the whole conversation ended right there when James Storr brought up that dipole, the changing of the dipole of water.
Yep.
After that, immediately, the whole conversation ended. So what do you do? Straight to John Lennox. You know what I mean?
What do you think, John? yeah.
Is there a way of quantifying
well,
this?
It's extremely improbable. I think a very good example of a reaction to an early form of fine-tuning was Sir Fred Hoyle, who was an atheist.
Fred Hoyle coined the phrase Big Bang, by the way, just to let everyone know, as a pejorative. He never liked it. Fred Hoyle, like he said, he was a... was he an astronomer or a cosmologist? I don't know. One of those guys at Cambridge.
Cambridge?
Yeah, he was big. Is it Cambridge or is it where's he from? The other one. Adam.
Oh, Oxford.
He's at Oxford, correct.
And who was
just before you go on,
too late.
Just a second. He says just there at the very start of what John Lennox said when he was asked the question, he said it's extremely improbable. He's just been given like evidence from a biology point of view from John Tor that there is no extremely improbable. It's just not possible.
Yes.
And now he's after contradicting James Tor.
You make a good point. All this improbability, every time they say improbable, it's actually impossible. Don't be placating, John. I'll give you an X.
Cambridge. And
oh, crap, Cambridge.
he predicted a resonance in carbon, which was later discovered. And when it was discovered, his reaction was, nothing shook my atheism like that discovery. Now,
he did convert from atheism, by the way. Fred Hoyle. I think his big one was not only the carbon resonance. I'm sort of unfamiliar with that, but I think DNA was the final straw for Hoyle. He was the one that made that famous saying that life.
Is that his?
Say again.
The bottom of the cup one. Is that?
No. The Fred Hoyle. He said you'll recognize it when I tell you that it was more probable. Sorry, Brian. That a tornado going through a junkyard that makes a 747, it would be just as probable as nature making life. Something to that effect. Do you guys remember that?
I remember that from a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I remember. From before ever in this arena, like way back, hearing that.
I may have butchered that a little bit, but it was a long time ago. Fred Hoyle, tornado.
Just quick question on that. Where'd you get the junkyard and where'd you get the tornado?
Good point. The tornado through a junkyard analogy is a famous argument created by astronomer Fred Hoyle to claim that the random origins of life and complex biological structures are mathematically impossible. He argued that life happening by accident is like a tornado blowing through a junkyard and building a functional 747. Which was pretty funny when I first came by it. I thought it was a good analogy. So +1. The atheists hate this. The Evotars and atheists, they hated this. By the way, just want to let you know. Fred Hoyle was big. He was big back in the day, man. Naming the Big Bang, and then punking it out, and then all of his work. He was big news. He's a hard pipe hitting atheist back then.
Roger Penrose is one of the most brilliant math.
This one's gonna put hair on your chest. So I'm gonna go for 30 seconds. Go back 5, and we'll go 30. Minimum.
Discovery. Now, Sir Roger Penrose is one of the most brilliant mathematicians in the world, worked with Stephen Hawking and so on. And he has an analogy in his book where he says, if you want a universe with the second law of thermodynamics, where even your Cadillac will rust, everything is running down, the Creator's aim, and those are his words, he's not a believer in God, the Creator's aim must be accurate to 1 part in 10 to the power 10 to the power 123 in order to get our universe. And many people have pointed out that if you put a 1 here and a 0 on every elementary particle in the universe, you still can't write that number out. In other words, the improbability is beyond our imagining. So
that's the one I used back in the day. So let's go back. Got where we started. I'll just go back to John's face. Let's see.
Discovered. And when it was discovered, his reaction was, nothing shook my atheism like that discovery. Now, Sir Roger Penrose.
That's where we started. Yeah, so that's the one that I use because that one will put hair on your chest. Let me see if I can find this mug. Was it that one? No. I'm gonna do this. Let's just go Penrose. Penrose. There we go. Uh-oh. Thanks for your patience. We were flying at 30,000 feet in straight and level flight.
I'm surprised Flatsy didn't come off you.
Yeah, there it is. This is the one I used, well, many, many moons ago. So, Professor Roger Penrose, The Emperor's New Mind. How big was the original space volume W that the creator had to aim for in order to provide a universe compatible with the second law of thermodynamics and with what we now observe? This now tells us how precise the creator's aim must have been, namely to an accuracy of 1 part in 10 to the 10th to the 123rd power. So I have to admit, I did use this one whenever it would come up. There's something around the second law of thermodynamics or Penrose or anything, I'd just be laying in wait. This is preposterous ludicrousness absurdity right here, this number, like Lennox said. Can't imagine this number. Go ahead.
Well, the problem is that there isn't a number, if you know what I mean. There's no probability.
Yep.
Because it happened.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But I would hold their feet to the fire with that one. Just FYI. It brought back a lot of memories when he said that. But okay.
Is one of the most brilliant mathematicians in the world, worked with Stephen Hawking and so on. And he has an analogy in his book.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
I'm sorry. I was going to, should I, it's not in the, hold on. If I just tell me I'm on mute, I'm going to come off. It doesn't mean keep talking. So you know I was talking, right?
Yeah, I know, but I thought it was a good lead-in before you made your point.
Yeah, he said it was an analogy. That's not an analogy. Penrose, that's not an analogy. So should I X him for that, or is it weak sauce?
Weak sauce.
Weak sauce.
Weak sauce. I agree.
Save the gigging for the real ones.
Save the gigging.
See, I got a question, right? QE just had a bit of a memory. Go back in time. I have to search that after listening to John Lennox. Is he guilty of reminiscing with strangers right now?
You even made Booger laugh.
Nice one. Brian, do you have something to add to that? Or did you already add what you added? You already
I just
added.
shouted X.
Yeah, I know you want to X them. You would figure an academic like John would know what an analogy is. That wasn't an analogy. Can I get a ruling? There's 3 of you. So Brian says X. Flatsy?
Just leave it be.
Adam?
Yeah, I'd just roll on, maybe highlight the point twice, but no negative mark.
No X.
We'll get things wrong. We'll get things wrong, though. That's all right. But
figure yourself.
We can all get things wrong, except QE.
Okay, Mr. Substanceless, Substankless.
That's a human convention. I can spell substanceless anytime. That's a human convention. It's not right or wrong. It's arbitrary. And the ribeye is capitalized by the way.
Whatever,
where he
dude.
says, if you want a universe with the second law of thermodynamics, where even your cat.
Is this the first time the second law has come up in this discussion? I'm thinking it is. So I'm going to give John, I'm not going to give him the X for the previous one. So he finally brought it up. It took long enough. So he doesn't get an X.
Cadillac will rust. Everything is running down. The Creator's aim, and those are his words, he's not a believer in God. The Creator's aim must be accurate to 1 part in 10 to the power 10 to the power 123 in order to get our universe. And many people have pointed out that if you put a 1 here and a 0 on every elementary particle in the universe, you still can't write that number out. In other words, the improbability is beyond our imagining. So the idea of a creator is extremely close when you see these kind of figures. And the important thing is the fine-tuning is something that has been scientifically established. They've got to explain it.
What's the hypothesis?
Yeah, this is another conflation of natural law.
Yep.
And
He's getting an
physics.
X. He's getting an X. Sorry, I can't let him by with that. Sorry.
It's a rubbish non-analogy, because like when you say after you've quantified something 1 to the power 10 to the power of 123, to say it's unimaginable, it's false, because you've just quantified. I don't need to imagine it. You just showed me the freaking number, pal.
Yeah, but his point was,
I know it's big.
It's big.
I know it's big, but I don't have to imagine it's there.
Yeah, it's beyond the forest of Azure. But
let me just elaborate on that. And this is my point, and it goes back to your frustration, the criticisms we have. They won't lay the hammer down.
Yes.
They'll put it like that, with a smile and their own knowledge of how powerful that is. But they won't let the audience, they won't directly tell the audience how powerful that is.
Yes.
That's the frustration with these guys.
Yes.
He also just stated basically an impossibility when he was referring to the same thing as he called highly improbable a while ago, more or less.
You caught him. Yep, he definitely did. I caught that too. Yep.
And they don't have an explanation that actually works. Apart from the God hypothesis.
Everything Film does a really nice job of telling the story of Hoyle's discovery of these very particular parameters associated with building carbon that led him to have this change of view. And he's later quoted as saying, a common sense interpretation of the evidence suggests that a super intellect has monkeyed with physics. So, famous.
Sorry, stopping. It was in the middle of 30 seconds. That's another Fred Hoyle quote. But some super intellect has monkeyed with the physics. That sent the atheist running back in the day. I digress.
I like that. I like the way that was like, that's part of the old boys club. Look, you see that?
Yes.
So for years, these guys have sat there and these lines. This is the trouble, you see, in academia. What you just highlighted with the previous guy. I mean, you have to make these witty quips. What you're not allowed to do is go, therefore, a creator, God exists. Stop with the evolution bollocks, will you? That's what they're all doing with these witty one-liners to academia. And that's empowering to all those guys. Look at them all repeat it. Because it means more than what it does to all the academics, doesn't it, that line? It tells more than just an opinion. Can I get a J on that bit? Or are you going to...
No,
you got it there? Sorry.
So this is Paul Davies, PhD, astrophysics. Fred Hoyle was his thesis advisor to Paul Davies, just FYI. In 2007, wrote a paper, Yes, the Universe Looks Like a Fix. From Paul Davies, scientists are slowly waking up to an inconvenient truth. The universe looks suspiciously like a fix. The issue concerns the very laws of nature themselves. Shout out for the laws of nature. There, Paul, way to go. For 40 years, physicists and cosmologists have been quietly collecting examples of all too convenient coincidences and special features in the underlying laws of the universe that seem to be necessary in order for life and hence conscious beings to exist. Change any one of them and the consequences would be lethal. Fred Hoyle, the distinguished cosmologist, once said, it was as if a super intellect has monkeyed with the physics. That's all I wanted to show, so they were right on it. Fred be knocking it out of the park, boy. Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, that's the point. Listen to it. How does he have to write? What is he writing there? It's very tongue-in-cheek, isn't it? It's But the unfortunate implication is you couldn't write it in plain English because the academia would not accept it. So it has to be put like that. This is the quandary these guys are in. Yeah? Look, and this is my point. Go back to the reaction. Look at the familiarity with it. It's a bit like us and, you can think of it. Oh, 7/6R. It's what's in their field, the things that resonate with all of them.
Yep.
When a well-known academic told them plainly, but couldn't tell them, but it stayed with them, that phrase, hasn't it? That I think is a sign that these are the good guys, if you see what I mean.
Sure.
As much as we disagree with their
particulars,
their performance.
Yep, their performance. Yeah.
Well, that presentation with the quotations from Fred Hoyle or something Davies, that was very satisfying that he was able to differentiate natural law out of natural science.
Sure it was. I was kind of shocked when I read through it again. I said, damn, okay, now he's got his act together there. For a couple seconds anyway, Paul.
And I'm not convinced that these are the good guys.
Yeah, I understand it.
You got a vendetta, though. A potato vendetta.
Yes.
All right. Let's go.
Keyed with physics. So, famous
Lennox from Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from the north, yeah.
I like that. Brian, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah, he's not a Republican. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, cool. Yeah, he's from the north.
Yeah, he's from the coast.
Bloody Christ.
Yeah, I just don't want to claim him at present.
That's brilliant.
I wouldn't mind claiming him. I like John. I do. So that's where I stand.
Fields, yeah. All right. The information enigma. I think I.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is just our party, huh?
That's my kind of party. Let's go for at least 30.
Stole that term from your book. Again, the documentary.
here we are.
Oh, shit, him again.
Oh, it's my favourite. Why has he not got a polo neck on?
We talked about that last week. We were laughing because he was on here earlier, right? So I stopped it and I said, Flatsy and I had a good laugh over the sudden left turn to the camera and the blue steel.
The blue steel. That made me laugh so hard.
We're gonna have to get that. Can you get that video for next time? We've already talked about it twice. Can somebody snatch that up?
Yeah.
It was from Eratosthenes. He was giving a talk on Eratosthenes. We brought it up twice. The audience doesn't know what the hell we're on about, and we're gonna have to show them what we're laughing about. So somebody.
Or you could just go and buy.
You could.
Welcome to Flat Earth, where this whole thing is there, because there's not a better description of the heliocentric worldview of Eratosthenes than Carl Sagan.
Yeah,
and it takes up a chunk in the book that there's no better way of describing what they believe and the implications, and it's no better summarized by the fake turn to the camera of Carl Sagan as he does it.
Yeah,
he's exactly storytelling and overacted by Cole in that thing.
You can't see
the link is there.
You can't see it in the book. Oh, the link is in the book, right?
Yeah, the link's there in the book. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you see him do it, just imagine Ben Stiller in Zoolander doing the blue still.
Are you searching for it now, Adam?
I'll get it. Yeah.
I don't want to push forward. I don't want to go forward until you get it. We'll take a break. Flatsy.
Yeah, that's a good time too.
Flatsy, it's 3:22, by the way. So.
Yeah, I see that.
All right.
And don't forget your promise to Betty.
Oh crap! You're right.
Shout out to Betty.
All right, let me go up there right now. Right, that right now because I had already forgotten about it.
The Kiwi's humiliation ritual.
Yeah.
Where do you want the YouTube link?
Right here in QE Live.
QE Live. Cool. There you go. I'll go to YouTube now and I'll stick it in YouTube chat for everyone else to enjoy at their leisure as well.
We got to find it too, so let me pull this up. Hold on a second, folks. Let's cut this. Let's pull this up. Stop. Let's go right there. Yep. All right. Where are you, mister? All right. It's getting close. Oh. There it is. Now he turns to the right. I missed that. I thought it was to the left. All right, let's go back. All right.
Yeah, because the context is what makes it so funny.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's pull. Let's go. We'll go another one. Here we go. Carl Sagan back in the day. It's a lot longer than 17 years ago, I'll tell you that. This is probably early 70s. Here we go.
Immense, when it was the only world we could explore. Its true size was first worked out in a simple and ingenious way by a man who lived here in Egypt in the 3rd century BC. This tower may have been a communications tower, part of a network running along the North African coast by which signal bonfires were used to communicate messages of state. It also may have been used as a lighthouse, a navigational beacon for sailing ships out there in the Mediterranean Sea. It is about 50 kilometers west of what was once one of the great cities of the world, Alexandria. In Alexandria,
that one right there.
Les.
One of the great cities of the world, Alexandria. In Alexandria.
And turn.
That's what we all stop. Every one of us, when we first watch this, stop, go back.
It's just perfect. It's the blue steel. Oh my gosh. Let me go find that. Maybe I can find it.
Do it again.
Sea. It is about 50 kilometers west of what was once one of the great cities of the world, Alexandria. In Alexandria.
Yeah. Nicely done. I'll have to say nicely done, but it cracks me up every time I see it.
It's a nice polo neck.
Yeah, that's what Adam was referring to, but the polo.
That's.
Go to the QE live chat in Discord so you can show your audience that. It's perfect because it's to the right too.
Oh boy. Okay. So we had a little fun with Carl Sagan. He is a glue sniffer. So, all right. Bye, Carl. Now you guys know what we're talking about. It's not an inside joke anymore. All right. Let's go. Let's pull a fiver and let's hear the nonsense that's going to come out of this douchebag.
Again, the documentary.
Here we are, like mites on a plum, and
mites on a plum.
Ew. See why? This is another thing that you'll notice from the way it's portrayed. All of this, we're a cancer on the earth. All of these derogatory ways in which, and we'll probably get to the creation. We might get there eventually, but that it's portrayed by evolutionists. There's nothing special about us. We're mites on a plum.
Yep.
It's a terrible way to describe yourself, isn't it?
He is much older here than with the last video. So this is, I don't know when this was. He's much older. You can tell he was a young man back there on the beach.
You can tell, but there's a level of receding. There's the same for, it's further back, that hairline is. It's a bit like mine now. And a definite need for just for men.
He's definitely got a lot dumber as he got older.
The plum is this little planet, and it goes around an insignificant local star, the sun.
Oh, insignificant.
No.
Like I said, listen to the language. Why would it be insignificant? For all of human knowledge, the only place where life exists, right, is here. It's the only knowledge, right? So it can't be insignificant because it's quite special, even in their worldview.
That
shit house
is on the obscure outskirts of an ordinary galaxy, the Milky Way, which contains 400 billion other stars. And this galaxy
all of them
is just one of something like 100 billion other galaxies that make up the universe. And
all a lot more exciting than ours, I bet.
Shut up! Let this dipshit talk without your color commentary. Damn. This is old. Studio 10?
I agree with Adam.
Studio 2. I'm sorry, Studio 10. Studio 2.
What you got? Guess the year by her hairstyle. I'm thinking 94 by the look of her hair.
When did he pass?
Don't know. Did he pass? Is he dead?
Died in.
This isn't old in California.
He died in 1996.
I'm saying 2 years before he died, he did this interview.
You think?
Don't know. I'm trying to guess on that woman's hair. Look at that.
Let's get a. I think there's a close up. If you want color commentary, we'll get there. And I'll stop at her hair.
400 billion other stars. And this galaxy.
There you go.
Early 2000s.
Can't be. She would have had to resurrect Sagan.
Oh, she's. I missed that because I saw that you were looking up when he died, but my bad.
2000.
We've dug him up. We've dug him up just for one special interview tonight.
We had a really big heater and some serious smelling salts. Jesus, Flatsy.
I just exposed myself at not paying attention.
Yeah, that was the best part of the show, boy. Early 2000s, Kiwi. So there you go, Adam. There's her hair. What are you thinking?
I'm gonna go ask AI.
So it was Carl Sagan. I don't know who she is. I recognize her. I just don't know the name. But it was there it was. Studio 10. I was cracking myself up. Studio 2. With an inverted pyramid. All right, let's let this glue sniffer go.
400 billion other stars. And this galaxy is just one of something like 100 billion other galaxies that make up the universe. And it is now beginning to look, this universe is one of an enormous number, maybe even an infinite number, of other closed-off universes.
Looks like he's a big fan of that 1940s comic book also.
Yeah, he's talking some waffle.
Yeah, this is some bullshit.
When did he die?
96.
Yeah, 1995, January 1995, this interview. I was not far off. I said 2 years.
Yep.
Like another month, I'm in the right year. Could have claimed it, but there you go.
Yeah.
Adam knows he's here, guys.
Yes. Yep. That was real close, Adam. This glue sniffer, man. I'm serious. These guys. This is Shangri-La. This guy's worshipped by the heliocentric ball-tart spinning space monkeys. By the way, just FYI.
This is everything that when we were kids, right? The people that the person they listened to, our teachers, was Carl Sagan. He put this nonsense into a rhetoric to feed to us. This is the ball we were fed. This is why he's so good. It's why he's revered by me, not because of he's espousing truth, but the way he espouses their rhetoric. This is exactly what they wanted you to believe. He was the poster boy, the Neil deGrasse, of the time. So famous and for being able to explain this to stupid people like us.
No,
so we could understand.
He's way, way above Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Well, okay, I was using that as an analogy. The man of the time. Yes, much bigger.
Yeah,
because things were smaller, weren't they?
Yeah,
then.
True. True. But his influence, as if you compare the influence, there's no comparison. None.
No, but the point is, he was there. He was put out by all the media. He was there explaining it.
Yep.
Selling it.
Yep. Yeah, I'd seen him countless times growing up on TV. He was always on TV, man. Yeah. I wouldn't pay any attention to him.
Before Flat Earth, his stuff was pinnacle in all of our growing up. You would have listened to Carl Sagan and his worldview. Before Flat Earth, this guy was held in esteem as a science communicator par excellence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time.
Idea that we are central, that we are the reason there is a universe, is pathetic.
Looking back on everything now and listening to you now, sir, the pathetic is you. There.
What a rebuttal. Listen, that, yeah?
Yeah, it's color commentary, op-ed piece with no substance. Substanceless, somebody would say, Flatsy.
Give me a J on that. I want to, because the point isn't substanceless.
I'm going to give you...
You do know what we're talking about, Adam, right? Never mind.
Shut up.
No, I was listening to... that was a lot of JH, but yeah.
Yeah, cool. We're going to listen to the whole thing through and through without interruption. Here we go.
Nation enigma. I think I stole that term from your book. Again, the documentary.
Here we are like mites on a plum. And the plum is this little planet, and it goes around an insignificant local star, the sun. And that star is on the obscure outskirts of an ordinary galaxy, the Milky Way, which contains 400 billion other stars. And this galaxy is just one of something like 100 billion other galaxies that make up the universe. And it is now beginning to look, this universe is one of an enormous number, maybe even an infinite number, of other closed-off universes. So the idea that we are central, that we are the reason there is a universe, is pathetic.
There you go.
Non-sequitur fallacy.
Give me 2 minutes and you can go ahead on this glue sniffer for as long as you like.
Yeah, because he's going to need a lot of spankings.
I mean, he did invoke a Marvel multiverse at that point there. Again, non sequitur. See, you can make the universe as big as you want, but that doesn't prove or disprove whether or not we are central to it. That's the uncomfortable truth of Hubble, that we are central to it all. But that, like I said, that's a fallacy he's used there. And in a very poor way, because he's a great explainer of detail. His rebuttal is nonsense.
I agree. I agree with you. Yeah, your critique of him is spot on.
But that's the point they want to address, isn't it? It's you're nothing. We are nothing. Your consciousness is nothing. It's not relevant. Nothing special. Nothing special about where you are. There's loads of these places. That's the rhetoric that's being pumped out, isn't it? In 70s, 80s, 90s. I tell you what, a year before he died, he doesn't look bad, does he? To be fair, he's only got a year to go.
No, but he doesn't. But it's like the whole, you're insignificant. We don't really matter. Nothing really matters. Like, I want the mites on the plum, all this stuff, as you were saying earlier, Adam. It's like that was the whole period of heliocentric nihilism. You know, creating heliocentric nihilism. Nothing really matters. There is no good or bad. Everything is just a massive accident. This type of thing. And like, I have to question, like, him, was he just an idiot tool, you know, for an agenda, or was he purposefully trying to create nihilism?
You could ask the same question of Neil deGrasse Tyson, mate. He's a well-paid man to communicate the state rhetoric of the time. I don't think he was chosen, wasn't he, because of his choice of knitwear initially in the early 70s. Yeah, it's the personality to convey a message that the people aren't relevant. Look at today. He's not the beginner of this idea, this theology, is he? He's just a mouthpiece. He's the Ron Burgundy of what? What's the point? This is early atheism, isn't it? The disproof of God with nonsense. Well, there's loads of stars and loads of galaxies. therefore it's not created, which is probably why these guys are using it as a reference point, that the nonsense before they get onto information, which will destroy the absolute concept of what creation is and what's needed to create. You know what I mean? To this level.
Yeah. The code that has to be there before it can be input into the thing. You know what I mean? Into the matter itself. You know, like there he was talking about how ridiculous it would be for us to be at the center. Like, I mean, where is the center then? And what's there? And why is it ridiculous that even within his paradigm and beliefs or whatever agenda he's pushing, why would it be ridiculous that we'd be there? It would be just as relevant for us to be there as any other random galaxy or whatever. Do you know what I mean? That push away from us at the center, we're nothing. Why would we be at the center? That push away from that it's like it was a bad smell. He was making it out as if it was a bad smell to him. You know, it's like you're really pushing this. I mean, within your paradigm, we could be at the center. You don't know. So why would you say that it's ridiculous for anyone to even think that? You know, it is. Look,
it's the plight. It's the plight of these folks. Having this heliocentric spinning space monkey ball-tard religion. It really, this is where flat earth can be highlighted to wade through this muddled mess that he just spoke about.
Yeah, because they're all stepping from that point of the heliocentric paradigm. Yeah, back to the beginning, that it came from a big bang. Or that everything is described by people like Carl, the way the universe is true. And there's that starting premise in all of the statements, even with the guys on the panel. That's kind of the frustration with them, that they've not raised this. Raise what? Well, flat earth and biblical cosmology. If you actually accept that truth, that we can prove, and you can do that by just buying a copy of Welcome to Flat Earth. It's available at Amazon in both ebook and paperback. Yeah. This is the frustration. They're moving past the point where we're giving them too much. And now, like I said, these talk shows, aren't they? That this is the assumed position given by the state. This is the frustration that this platform. And I think the guys that actually in the show alluded to it very well. It's not until the 60s. Well, this guy becomes famous in the 70s to present the rhetoric that the mainstream academia is starting to work with. You're back, I see. I think that was a fair summary, actually, Don. And sorry, Brian, I was just saying, just to get that. I think that's a fair summary of what they've done. They've actually not done a bad job because they've not set out themselves greatly. They've just presented the rhetoric and frustratingly been silenced with their ability to destroy it. But I think we're about to get to that point because we're about to discuss information. I'll leave it there, but Danny Faulkner and Jen Panda, there's no information there. There's not even intelligent design there in them two.
The thing about flat Earth and then being not able to address it, a lot of people aren't able to address it, and they won't be able to address it. But what they'll do is they'll gradually go towards the acceptance of the Creator, and maybe a biblical or maybe Islamic worldview, right? Which means that they're only one step down away from accepting the reality of the situation, which is flat Earth. So as they do that, and they seem to be doing that in droves, at least in the Western world anyway, they're heading more and more towards, belief in a creator. I know they only have a belief. Let's just say it's that. I'm using that word for that reason. But, it's only a matter of time before they do get to the point of going, let's be honest, it's flat. Do you know what I mean? But they don't want to do that now. But they'll take on the Christianity or Islam or something else before they'll do that. But but once they will do that.
Yeah, Adam, that one step that you're talking about might as well be 1,000 miles for most people. For whatever reason, they can accept what the Bible says in certain contexts, and then they'll reject the other bit because somebody else told them something different. So they're going to maintain their bias from whatever they were told that seems easy for them to compartmentalize or easy for them to understand or just familiar, whatever it was that they were told when they were growing up in school. They're going to keep that. I don't know why. I couldn't explain it, but there's just like this block. And to me, even though, these guys on this panel are having a reasonable discussion, to me, they're still gatekeeping a little bit because they're not actually going to the topic that would end all of these debates at one time. Even they are too afraid to touch flat Earth. So if no one's going to address flat Earth and consider it with a reasonable, just be reasonable about it, then these guys are more, to me, they're part of the problem. I don't like them. I'm going to declare war on all gatekeepers, Christian or not. Just war has been declared.
Good to see you, says who. And I think you just made Brian so happy.
Yeah, I came off you to say, yes, I concur. And the Flatty had to come in and open our mouth, as usual. I totally agree.
Steal your thunder.
Yeah, I totally agree. Say so.
I think I want to address Sazu's point there. I agree with the frustration of them because they're people in a much more powerful position, and I have a frustration that they don't present the powerful message I know they could. But I also have respect for them in an understanding that they've kept that message alive in little quips that they hand down from one professor to their student who then becomes a professor, and they recognize those lines, just like we alluded to. The famous one I thought John was alluding to, at the bottom of the cup, God's waiting for you, right? It's always there, and all the top academics know it, but for some reason academia will not admit it. So I can only thank them for keeping the light going, as dim as it is and as frustratingly dim as it is. But I see it there in the halls of academia. They aren't swamped with atheists bullshitting. There's the top guys that quietly present for you to come to a conclusion, a bit like as flat earthers had to do on that topic. We had to seek it out ourselves. But it is waiting for you at the bottom. And these guys, I think, are just chilled on that and know that they can either speak their mind and lose their position or do what they're doing to our frustration.
I found another good citation from Max Planck last week. What the heck did I do? I put Planck here in as a search. Probably not going to work. Get too many. That's what I thought.
Oh my goodness, so many.
Yeah, Dave, because yeah.
All right, fanboy.
Oh, I think I might have found it. I think, yeah, good luck. Oh boy. It's in my quantum mechanics library. I'm going to be here till the cows come home.
I just saw the word phlogiston. Yeah.
Did you? There's
So
the
I
one.
did.
There's the one that you like, Adam.
There you go.
So for Werner
Read it.
Heisenberg,
I can't say it. Yeah. Perfect.
pioneer of
Thanks.
quantum mechanics, Nobel Prize Physics from 1988. The first gulp from the glass of natural science will turn you into an atheist, but at the bottom of the glass, God is waiting for you. No more powerful one that I ever heard. No, it gets close though. Hold on a second.
The point is, that's the reality. When you get to the highest echelons, like these guys were looking at, I'm claiming myself here, there is no other conclusion other than that of a creator. And this is point 3, isn't it? That absolutely nails it hard, which is information. Because you can hypothesize all you want for the rest, but this bit, there is only one way in which information is passed. It's from or created. So
good Lord. Not to you, Adam.
Where you at? Yeah.
Not to you.
No,
that was my personal frustration in finding what I'm trying to find.
The point I'm being, I'll elaborate a little bit more. Just you can. We alluded to it. Get your own scrapyard. Get your own hurricane. Yeah. You can conjure up in the world of an atheist a bit of matter from somewhere, even though we started out in terms of the singularity, pointing out that it wasn't there before that. There's confusion there. But there can be all sorts of apologetics for shit being there and like molecules making stuff and all of this golden zone that molecules and every one of those more than 36 knobs, as we found out, turn up. Yeah, all of those could be golden, but then we get, like I say, to information. Because I can have all the parts. I'm nearly done. I can have all the parts for a ZX Spectrum, right? But I can't, without there being an intelligence, write the code to play Jetpack or Manic Miner. Somebody's got to write that bit. Even if you've magicked up all the 2 other points that you can't magic up, and they don't even magic up. Are you done?
Yeah,
I'm done.
I find it.
Are you there?
Are
Sorry.
you done? Yeah. Max Planck, acceptance speech, 1918 Nobel Prize in Physics. As a man who has devoted his whole life to the most clear-headed science, to the study of matter, I can tell you as a result of my research about atoms this much. All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force, which brings the particle of an atom to a vibration and holds this most minute solar system of the atom together. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter. Max Planck. So,
and you see even how his mind's been perverted there. So
yes,
even in his subjective description, the way he describes an atom is as a heliocentric solar system.
Yeah.
It's really, it's how ingrained it is.
Yep. Well, they didn't know.
Because
he didn't know back then, but still, he shouldn't have said this because it was unknown, and it's definitely not a solar system, atom and electron and stuff. No. Go ahead, Flatsy.
Oh, well, I was about to say that dumb shit. They probably missed P&S orbitals, yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, but Adam, see that date?
Yeah. I know, but and that's not my point. My critique is, and I'm not attacking him. I'm saying, even look there, look at that date.
Yep.
This concept of solar system, this heliocentric, this. See, what's important there is he feels, even to the common man, the analogy of the solar system is a way of describing what's happening in the microscopic level of the atom.
Yeah.
You can understand the solar system to somebody in 1918, you see.
Yeah.
It's already there, heliocentrism at this point, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, big time.
To incorrectly describe the orbits of electrons, yes, but
Yeah. Yeah, that didn't come back. But it's a good point that you make. All right. Guess what? We're not going to get the information today. You know why? Because I got to go. Flatsy.
Well, it was a great discussion today. Thanks, everybody, for coming out, and I hope you all have a great day, night. God bless, and we'll catch you next time.
You're dropping proofs like holy wine. He'll charm you with that science talk, make you think the stars align. He'll call you darling, sweetheart, angel till you're hanging on his cue. Then he snaps, shut the fuck up, like your thoughts ain't worth a view. Oh, it's QE's love bomb gospel, wrapped in brilliance and control. He'll lift you up with flattery, then swallow your whole soul. He knows his stuff, he's a razor sharp, but his kindness comes on cue. It's shut the fuck up and listen when the spotlight's on his truth. He's the king of flat earth logic, got the evidence to burn. He'll teach you how the world ain't curved if you praise him in return. Women flock to hear his wisdom, he calls it truth, not charm. But every compliment's a hook and every smile's a disarm. He says he's just passionate, but it's power in disguise. He'll crown you as his chosen one, then drop you in your rise. He's the master of attention, the ruler of the chat. If you dare to interrupt him, he'll end you just like that. Yeah, QE's love bomb gospel, where devotion turns to flame. He'll show you how the world is flat, then bend it to his name. He's brilliant, bold, and brutal, a storm you can't undo. It's shut the fuck up and listen when the gospel's coming through. So if you fall for his conviction, remember what he'll do. He'll love bomb you with genius, then tell you you're the fool.